Last night, 2 men walked away unharmed.
They should go to church Sunday. Yeah, they are counting their blessings.
I'm Stuart McMillan with that story.
I'm Tom Ackerman.
I'm Sean Malone. There's a new exhibit at Soldiers Memorial. Hear about it coming up.
I'm Maria Kina. An Illinois congresswoman uses Veterans Day to point out what she perceives as problems for women in the military.
The gender pay gap appears to be getting bigger again.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. A nice day today with sunshine and a high of 66.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The longest government shutdown in U.S. history could be over by day's end. The plan is for lawmakers in the House to reconvene and vote on a Senate bill approved Tuesday. Massachusetts Democrat Jim McGovern blames Republicans.
For 8 weeks, Speaker Johnson let you all stay home while Americans miss paychecks, skip meals, and watch their costs explode.
North Carolina Republican Virginia Fox.
The Democrat government shutdown that has lasted over 40 days did not have to happen. It did not have to be this way. Our work in service to the American people did not have to be interrupted.
The bill does not include the health insurance protections Democrats wanted. Even if the shutdown does end today, air travel is expected to be a mess for days to come. These flyers weighed in at LAX.
I'm not that concerned. I think they're prioritizing safety over convenience. I'll take a canceled flight over a crashed flight.
Hopefully the government will open, they'll get these folks paid and so forth, because it's a tough job and we need them.
There weren't as many delays or cancellations yesterday. Air traffic control towers reported minimal staffing shortages. Things are heating up between the U.S. and a South American dictator.
The USS Gerald R. Ford and 3 destroyers arrived in the region yesterday as part of the Trump administration's campaign against drug traffickers. Venezuela is preparing to set a maximum level of alert and will deploy almost 200,000 soldiers. President Trump has been talking about striking land targets, raising speculation he wants to remove Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro from power. On 60 Minutes earlier this month, CBS's Nora O'Donnell asked Trump,
"Are Maduro's days as president numbered?"
I would say, yeah. I think so, yeah.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A massive search continues for a missing miner who got trapped Saturday when his team hit a pocket of water and triggered a massive flood. Governor Patrick Morrisey says crews are pumping out 6,000 gallons a minute.
Right now, the big effort is trying to clear out the water. That's a big part of it. It's a little preliminary to know at what level the water is going to be at so we can send more people down.
ABC's Jimmy Kimmel was in tears last night.
There was a boy who lived on my block. He lived across the street and 2 houses over.
He broke the news his best friend from childhood, Live's band leader and sax player Cleto Escobedo, had died at the age of 59.
We would stay up all night ordering pizzas to our neighbors.
He didn't mention a cause of death, but Kimmel urged fans to remember.
Cherish your friends. We're not here forever.
Dow futures are up 75. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
It is 6:03, and right now we've got clear skies, 39 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. A small plane crashed near Wild Horse Creek and Wilson Road in Chesterfield last night.
The aircraft was making its final approach to the Spirit of St. Louis Airport around 6 o'clock. During the descent, the pilot successfully deployed the plane's emergency parachute. Monarch Fire Protection District Fire Marshal Jim McKay spoke with Fox 2 News.
This is one of the fortunate ones. So most of them are landing where the wheels deploy or something and you land and there's but to actually come out of the air, no injuries, that's amazing. And they should go to church Sunday. Yeah, they are counting their blessings.
2 men walked away without an injury. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
A new exhibit debuting just in time for Veterans Day yesterday at Soldiers Memorial takes a look at the nuclear arms race.
Managing Director Mark Sunlov says this is a unique photographic essay focusing on the offensive and defensive sides of the Cold War's nuclear arms race.
Offensive being kind of your nuclear missile sites, and then defensive more of the fallout shelters.
Sunlov says this exhibit is very timely with the nuclear clock at 89 seconds to midnight right now, the closest it has ever been. The exhibit is open now and runs until January 4th. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Thanking a veteran is not just reserved for Veterans Day. Ed Batchelor served in the Canadian Army as an engineer and tells KMOX we should always remember what our men and women in uniform have done for us.
Each and every day is a day for celebration for the liberties that we enjoy, the democracy we live in.
Unveiled in Jefferson City yesterday, a new obelisk to remember veterans of the Iraq and Afghanistan war. Paul Kirchhoff with the Missouri Veterans Commission says the planning for the new monument began in 2022, but was approved this year for $157,000.
Not only did we not have an obelisk for Iraq and Afghanistan, but we hadn't actually put an end date to the Gulf War, which ended in 1991, about the time that the Veterans Memorial was put in place.
Illinois Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski did not hold back on Veterans Day as to how she sees women being treated in the military.
Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth has spent his tenure attacking our women veterans.
Congresswoman Budzinski accused Secretary Hegseth of attempting to discredit women's service
and rolling back the programs that ensured women in uniform have properly fitting combat gear, adequate health care, and fair treatment.
And the House Democratic Women Caucus also say that since President Trump has taken office, the VA has lost 30,000 employees. Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
Women appear to be losing ground when it comes to earning a wage equal to their male counterparts.
Bankrate says the latest data shows women make 81 cents on the dollar compared to men. That's down from 84 cents on the dollar several years ago. Bankrate data analyst Alex Scaly tells KMOX there are a number of reasons that pay gap has gotten bigger.
Say one of the biggest reasons that we see it is because there is occupational and industrial segregation. So women tend to be overrepresented in lower paying fields and jobs, whereas the opposite is true for men.
Gailey says barriers also remain for women when it comes to getting promoted. We go in depth this morning at 8:50 here on Total Information AM. Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
FEMA money for mental health. The state of Missouri is distributing more than $815,000 in federal disaster money and will be distributed to local mental health care providers. Place for People will use the money to hire 4 full-time crisis counselors to canvass neighborhoods hard hit by the May tornado, attend community events. This is all according to the Post-Dispatch. Other agencies say they'll focus on kids, schools, and checking in on residents.
You may be missing some key shortcuts in our region. Great Rivers Greenway continues to expand and connect communities through trails and green spaces.
Sometimes we'll build a project that's maybe 4 miles long, but it might go through 3 different towns or 7 different neighborhoods. And the greenways transcend all of those barriers and boundaries and really connect folks together to get around in a different way.
Vice President of Communications and Outreach, Emma Clues, says you can find out what's next at a meeting tomorrow night at 8 at the Clark Family Library branch.
From the business desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, Todd Schnook, chairman and CEO of Schnook Markets Incorporated, says that Ted Schnook has been appointed Schnook's next chief operating officer. In this expanded leadership role, Ted will have oversight for the company's strategic initiatives and daily execution of business priorities, as well as executive leadership for store operations, merchandising, marketing, communications, and supply chain.
It is 6:08. We'll take a break here. We'll come back with traffic and weather and another attempt to phase out the income tax in Missouri. Details just ahead.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
Let Banner Construction show you what a difference James Hardy can make to your home. Banner's exterior design team will show you custom design options to transform your home into the neighborhood showplace. Banner is a preferred James Hardy and Pella Windows specialist. With winter just around the corner, now is the time to think about Pella Windows for energy efficiency and comfort. Call Banner Construction 314-569-1050 to schedule your free in-home consultation or the website bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
Let's check in with Roger Brand. He's in the overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, it's not a bad drive on the highways this Wednesday morning, Tom. If you're getting out the door right now, northbound 55 looks pretty good. Just a touch slow at 67. There's just a little bit of a slowdown through Bayless. That's where you have crashes. Minor. They're on both shoulders, but so folks are just a little slow. And that's as you enter the work zone anyway, so I really don't know if those crashes are making that much of a difference or not. Northbound 67 coming into Double C. We have signal problems there. We're jammed north of Buck Creek, so it's slowly getting worse at that location. Otherwise, on the Missouri side, the rest of the highways are okay. Just that one slowdown we still have up north, the ramp, road work, I think, just running a little late. The ramp from westbound or southbound 270 onto westbound 370 over in Bridgeton. Road work causing slowdowns in the Metro East, of course, eastbound 64, Greenmount, most of the way to 158. And I'm seeing some delays, short delays right now, though. Route 3 at Monsanto, both directions, so that tells me there could be a train crossing there. Next update at 6:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
KMOX AccuWeather, plenty of sunshine and pleasant today and even warmer than yesterday, high 66. Clear to partly cloudy and chilly tonight, lows ranging from 33 in the coldest outlying areas to about 41 downtown at the Arch. We'll have sunshine through varying amounts of high cloudiness tomorrow, the high temperature 65. Friday, mostly sunny and warmer, high 76. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, we've got clear skies, 39 degrees in downtown St. Louis. By the way, Debbie of St. Louis won those Musial Award tickets last hour. I forgot to mention that. And it's not me, Debbie.
It wasn't
of
you
St. Louis.
trying to call during the break.
It was not me. We'll have another chance for you to win tomorrow, so keep listening. That weather sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance. With Allstate, you could win. You could easily save and get quality protection. It's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
It's 6:12. When Missouri lawmakers return to Jefferson City in January for their new session, phasing out the state's income tax will be high on the agenda. Governor Kehoe says he is laying the groundwork to ask Missouri voters to help make it happen. The income tax generates about $10 billion a year, and according to the Post-Dispatch, the governor offered no specifics about how to offset that, but says they're looking at other revenue streams. Last session, Republicans eliminated the state's capital gains tax, which caused Kehoe to withhold more than $500 million in spending in July. Combined with a dwindling budget surplus and a massive drop in federal aid, budget watchers are warning of lean times ahead.
Professional dietitians are warning against AI chatbots to diagnose eating disorders. Michelle Wilson with Brands Nutrition tells Total Information AM studies have documented dangerous responses to user questions.
It might provide inappropriate information or even give tips and tricks on ways to engage in behaviors further.
Wilson says in other cases, AI chatbots have been known to give generic information, not really tailored to a user's needs.
A fire closed the Salvation Army's food pantry in Arnold last holiday season. Now it's reopening just in time for Thanksgiving. The newly renovated facility will resume weekly distributing food tomorrow to those eligible. The expanded pantry will include a selection of canned goods, produce, and meat to more than 200 anticipated weekly visitors.
Any person with a valid SNAP card can get 2 meals at no cost from JoJo's Fish and Chicken on MLK Boulevard. Present a second piece of ID and get 50% off 2 additional meals. JoJo's is partnering with St. Louis University's Habitat for Neighborhood Business, a nonprofit associated with the Chaffetz School of Business that provides training and mentorship for minority-owned retail businesses. Byron Hayes, owner of JoJo's, says they wanted to help people in the neighborhoods around his restaurant who are running short of food. They'll be doing the meal giveaway at least through Saturday, but possibly longer if the government shutdown continues.
The 46th Annual Storytelling Festival is going on now through November 16th. For the past 4 years, it's been put on by the St. Louis County Library. Library Director and CEO Kristen Sorth says there's something for everyone at locations in the county and city.
Until you go, you can't understand how powerful it is. It's really, sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're sad. They really make you think about the world and your place in the world. So I don't think I knew exactly what to expect when we took on the festival, and I'm so glad we did.
Aside from storytellers, there are workshops and other events. Last year, more than 11,000 people attended. All events are free and open to the public, and the full schedule is available at slcl.org. All right, let's get after it. Cardinals at the GM meetings in Las Vegas, led by President of Baseball Operations Chaim Bloom. Some analysis from Bernie Miklas on the Gas House Gang as to what the Cardinals are going to try to accomplish. Bloom has told us on KMOX multiple times the priority is starting pitching.
You know, I think the market works well for the Cardinals because whether there's fear of a labor stoppage before 2027, I think pitchers are going to be, well, I'm not going to sit around and wait for a multiple year deal because it may not come. Teams might be waiting to see what the new collective bargaining agreement will be like. Now, listen, we could all be overstating that, but I think it's a possibility that it would slow the market a little bit as far as multiple year deals. And I'm not talking about the top of the market guys. They're going to get theirs. But this sets up well for what I think Chaim Bloom, I'm assuming, wants to do, which is a lot of short-term contracts, 1 year contracts, maybe one and an option. And I was looking this morning, last off season, there were 40 major league starting pitchers, 40 that signed 1 year deals. And I would say out of the 40, I would say about 15, 17 of those guys did a nice job. And we have to remember that some of those 1 year contracts were, the teams knew they were signing guys that were either coming off injuries or weren't very good. They didn't expect much, but they just took a chance. But you can find value in 1 year deals for starting pitchers. And I think there'll be more of them this year because I think players are going to be, listen, I need to establish my value for the future contract, for the next contract. And actually being on a rebuilding team suits that purpose just fine because you're a little way from the spotlight. But if you pitch well, people start to notice. And maybe you'll have an opportunity to get traded to a contender, and then you can really shine. And then all of a sudden, your market value for a multiple year deal is reestablished. So I think he's going to be searching for guys like that. But I also think he's going to rely on his Tampa Bay roots because they always had a way to find pitchers that others overlooked, didn't see, didn't think much of. They found those gems a lot. I think he'll go. That's one of the reasons why I'm glad they hired him because he has that aptitude how to find those guys.
Yeah, we're lined up to talk to Bloom yesterday, the former Rays and Red Sox executive. We talk to him every Sunday on Sports on a Sunday Morning on KMOX. Looking forward to the recap of the GM meetings in Las Vegas. Managers of the year in the National League and the American League are actually repeat winners from last year. Pat Murphy of the Brewers and Stephen Vogt of the Guardians. The Blues won last night 3-2 over the Flames. Jordan Bennington played in his 348th game in net. That passes Mike Liut for the most in Blues history. Bennington had 38 saves. Illinois, ranked 14th in the country, beats number 11 Texas Tech 81-77 at State Farm Arena in Champaign. Big win for the Illini, their first ranked victory of the season. Big game tonight for Mizzou. They host Minnesota at 7 o'clock. We'll take a look at all of that coming up at 6:45. I'm Tom Ackerman on the Voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Chesterfield Valley Nursery invites you to make your own live holiday decor this year in our Winter Planter class happening on November 22nd. Sign up today on our website or Facebook. Learn how to put together a live evergreen porch planter. Registration required. Spots fill up fast. Visit ChesterfieldValleyNursery.com. That's November 22nd. ChesterfieldValleyNursery.com to register.
For 100 years, KMOX has been part of St. Louis. Now, Together Credit Union is helping celebrate that legacy. Starting in November, visit any Together Credit Union branch to pick up a KMOX 100th anniversary commemorative ornament for just $5 while supplies last. Each ornament supports Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis. Together Credit Union, honoring 100 years of KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, and Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis, improving the health of all children.
All you have to do is type in youridoc.com, youridoc.com, and you'll be directed right to Ophthalmology Associates. You can also call them at 314-966-5000. You can drop my name, Tom Ackerman, and they'll get you ready to go for an appointment. An eye exam is very important. It can help you not only understand your eyes, but your eye health and your overall health. The experienced eye doctors at Ophthalmology Associates specialize in vision care services as well, cataract surgery, LASIK. Their team is dedicated to enhancing vision and improving lives by providing advanced eye care with a personal touch. Cataracts, cornea, diabetic eye exams, dry eye disease treatment, glaucoma, LASIK, macular degeneration. They have an optical shop on site, 12990 Manchester Road, just west of 270. Ophthalmology Associates, 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com.
Now the news at 9, The Talk. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
621. This is Total Information AM. Time for a check of traffic and weather, starting with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we're doing pretty well out there on the highway so far this morning, Debbie. This traffic reports a service of Amon, Gantner, Capriano, northbound 55. You've got slow traffic coming up through that area south of Butler Hill up to 270. It sounds like they may be sending emergency crews for those couple of crashes that are on the shoulders, northbound 55 at Bales. There's a little backup from the Union Road overpass up to them right now if you're headed that way. There's still a bit of a jam on northbound 67 north of Buck Creek up to Double C. They were saying that was due to signal problems there, so just be careful. I also see a little bit of a backup eastbound 64 midway and from Winghaven to K. Looks like could have problems there. Overnight roadwork has slow going on the ramp from south 270 on to westbound 370 and eastbound 64. From Greenmount midway into 158's heavy. Still seeing a backup northbound Route 3, Queenie up through Monsanto due to a train. Next update at 6:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Brought to you by Eamon Gantner and Capriano, yourestatematters.com. Hi, Margaret with Eamon Gantner and Capriano. How's your family? Do you have a legal plan for them when you're gone? Eamon Gantner and Capriano, yourestatematters.com.
The choice of an attorney is an important decision and shouldn't be based solely on advertising.
We love hearing from Henry Barnes. Our listener said the best part of waking up is KMOX in my ear. Good morning, Debbie, Tom, Megan, and Roger. We also had someone that told us to stop chewing gum. Neither of us are chewing gum. I don't know what you're talking about.
We may have been eating our breakfast in between stories.
Yeah, what are we supposed to starve? It is going to be a nice day today. Plenty of sunshine and pleasant. Warmer than yesterday, high 66. It is going to be chilly tonight, lows in the 30s. But tomorrow, sunshine, high 65. We warm up into the upper 70s Friday and Saturday. Currently, it's 40 downtown.
6:23, and later today, it's believed the House of Representatives, back in session for the first time in 6 weeks, will vote to end the government shutdown.
On day 43, it appears the shutdown will end. The House of Representatives will gavel into session later today and is expected to vote on the bill passed by the Senate Sunday night that would fund the government through January, providing money for SNAP and WIC food assistance programs for the next year, as well as pay those serving in the military. It also comes with a promise in the Senate to look at fixing the rising Obamacare subsidies at the heart of the Democrats' opposition. Members are trying to deal with flight cancellations and delays due to the government shutdown's effect on air traffic controllers in order to get back to the nation's capital for the vote. Republican Congressman Chip Roy telling Fox News he does not see anyone in the Freedom Caucus opposing the bill.
We're delighted to be able to keep the government moving forward, keep spending relatively flat,
and then do our job and then have a real debate about healthcare once the government's back open so the American people are no longer suffering with crowded airports and all the things that Democrats cause.
Many Democrats are upset at Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, accusing him of caving to Republicans in the negotiations, agreeing to a deal without negotiating a fix to the Obamacare subsidies. Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna is one of the Democrats calling for him to step down, accusing him of being the architect of the negotiations.
Senator Shaheen was on this morning saying every negotiation was run by him every day.
Schumer did vote no on the legislation, but a number of Democrats believe that was just for show. Fellow Democrat John Fetterman telling The View, Democrats need to take a realistic look at where they are and the power they don't have.
I don't need a lecture from whether it's Bernie or the governor in California, because they are representing very deep blue kinds of populations.
Also happening today, Congresswoman-elect Adelita Grijalva will finally be sworn in by House Speaker Mike Johnson 50 days after her election. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says Johnson was afraid to do it sooner because Grijalva has promised to bring forward legislation that would expose the Epstein files.
Her first act, as she's indicated, is going to be to sign that discharge petition. It's going to force a vote on the House floor.
Her confirmation is set for around 4 p.m. Eastern Time, right before the House votes on government funding. John Stolnis, Washington.
The Supreme Court says a block on full SNAP payments will remain in place.
The order extending the block comes as the government shutdown could potentially end in a matter of days, and food aid payments would resume anyway. Some 42 million Americans who depend upon the SNAP payments have been caught up in uncertainty during the shutdown as the Trump administration challenged a court ruling ordering it to use contingency funds to cover full benefits. Once the shutdown officially ends, it could still take days for the states to distribute the payments. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Even though the House is planning a vote later today to end the government shutdown, flight delays and cancellations are causing aggravation at the nation's airports as traffic controllers and TSA agents have yet to receive a paycheck for more than a month. And delays on flights could continue for days, even weeks after a bill is signed. Correspondent Marissa Dunahay reports on how air traffic controllers and the Trump administration are responding to the ongoing shutdown.
President Donald Trump has ordered all air traffic controllers to, quote, get back to work now.
I was not happy when I saw all these people. We have to look, life is not so easy for anybody. Our country's never done better. We should not have had people leaving their jobs. And what I basically did is say the ones that stayed, of which there were a lot of them, I'm sending them a $10,000 bonus.
Where's that money coming from?
I don't know. I'll get it from someplace.
He posted on Truth Social that he wants to give a $10,000 bonus to controllers who have stayed on the job every day during the government shutdown and dock the pay of those who haven't. The Federal Aviation Administration has cut flights to ease pressure on controllers, and frustration is only mounting over the growing number of flight cancellations daily across U.S. airports. Some air traffic controllers, unpaid for nearly a month, have stopped showing up, citing the added stress and the need to take a second job.
This is the erosion of the safety margin the flying public never sees, but America relies on every single day.
The Senate took a first step towards ending the shutdown Sunday, but final passage could still be several days away. Tuesday will be the second missed payday for air traffic controllers and other employees of the Federal Aviation Administration.
Anywhere from 24 to 48 hours after the government opens, they're going to get a photo ID and 70% of their pay. So 70% of their pay comes within 24 to 48 hours. So I encourage all of them to come to work, to be patriots and help navigate the airspace effectively for the American people.
After a weekend that saw thousands of flights canceled, airlines canceled another 1,700 flights by early Monday afternoon and nearly 1,000 for Tuesday.
It's 6:28. Time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
You could think you found your dream home online. The kitchen island looks perfect for your inner chef. The backyard, a paradise for your green thumb. And that extra room, hello walk-in closet. But here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. And this sound, yeah, you're going to be hearing a lot of that. Don't let your dream home turn into a nightmare. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
Designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Many families in Missouri and Illinois live in freezing conditions. They can't afford utilities.
HeatUpStLouis.org has helped thousands. 100% of public donations help neighbors stay warm.
Please help HeatUpStLouis.org.
Many families in our region are living paycheck to paycheck, or others may be seniors or disabled neighbors on fixed incomes. Please drop off a check payable to Heat Up St. Louis to any Commerce Bank associate. Thank you.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
It is 6:31, and right now in downtown St. Louis, clear skies, 39 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. Here's Roger Brand and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
We got another crash on 55, folks. This time northbound 55 near the Mattis overpass before you get to 270. It looks like it's either on the left shoulder or in the left lane. I think the left lane is going to be blocked momentarily when the emergency crews show up. So just expect the delays to get worse. Right now, northbound 55 has slow going approaching 67 down in Festus, and then this backup, which is the right lanes are north of Merrimack Bottom, and they jam before you get to Butler Hill up to that crash scene. Then it's still backed up from the Union Road overpass up to Bayless, where there's a crash on both shoulders. North 55 there remains slow up to River to Pear. Northbound 270, Doherty Ferry to Manchester up toward 64. There's some slower traffic there. Southbound 61, midway between W and P down through Wentzville Parkway, a couple of heavy spots, and it's backed up both sides of Winghaven. Still seeing delays on the ramp from South 270 on a westbound 370 roadwork. Running a bit late. A jam on northbound Route 3 from almost Jerome up to Monsanto because of a train crossing. Eastbound 64, that's a jam now. East of 50 in through Greenmount Road in that construction area. Next update at 6:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It is just getting warmer as we head through this week. Today, plenty of sunshine with a high of 66, 65 with sun tomorrow. Then Friday, 76, Saturday, 79, and then back down to low 60s for Sunday. Right now, it's 39.
It's 6:32. The Major Case Squad is wrapping up its investigation into a juvenile's killing in Lincoln County. Deputies found the teenager dead on Monday near a wood line by Foley Island. 25-year-old Brendan Brown of Foley now faces charges, including first-degree murder. Investigators say the death stems from a drug deal gone bad. Police allege the victim and 3 other juveniles were trying to steal marijuana from Brown. Brown allegedly fired 3 shots as the teenager ran away with the drugs. The victim was struck in the back and died.
A new exhibit made its debut at the Soldiers Memorial on Veterans Day, 2 minutes to midnight, and the Architecture of Armageddon, a photographic essay focusing on the nuclear arms race from both an offensive and defensive perspective. Director Mark Sunlove tells KMOX the exhibit shows a nation trying to grapple with the perspective of nuclear war.
Seeing how the nation was trying to convince itself that there was a way to survive this, right? And building these installations for both the public, but also for our governmental leaders.
The exhibit is free and runs through January 4th.
And that will take place at the Soldiers Memorial, as mentioned. Do veterans feel more appreciated in today's time?
Veterans were not as respected as they are today.
When I came home from Vietnam, it was not widely accepted, but and in fact, there was some disparagement.
Ed Batchelor served in the Canadian Army as an engineer and says things are different between the United States and Canada.
The level of patriotism that the Americans have here is a little bit stronger than in Canada.
Outside Soldiers Memorial, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The Missouri Veterans Memorial in Jefferson City now has monuments for every war that veterans from the Show Me State have fought in.
Honoring our Missouri veterans who served in Iraq and Afghanistan.
That's Paul Kirchhoff with the Missouri Veterans Commission, who says a new monument was unveiled Tuesday.
What we're trying to do is make sure that we honor our Iraq, Afghanistan veterans, just like Missouri has honored all the rest of our veterans from the previous wars.
Planning began in 2022 with construction taking place this year. The project cost $157,000.
Your Money Minute is next. The news sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
Purina presents A Century of Service.
This is KMOX Radio.
KMOX is celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining St. Louis. On November 20th, KMOX Day, we will celebrate the KMOX pioneers.
This is Jim White for your information.
Legendary voices.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Groundbreaking programming.
KMOX Radio. We're at your service.
And unforgettable moments that have defined a century of broadcasting.
We did locate Ben this afternoon, and we've also located Sean Harnbeck.
Hear from current and former KMOX personalities who have helped make this station the preeminent news, information, and sports brand in America. A century of service, celebrating 100 years of KMOX, is presented by Purina, your pet, our passion, on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
All righty, we're getting ready to come into winter here, where we're going to be using our furnaces. A lot of you are getting prices now, or you're getting your furnaces checked and you're being told that you have an issue with your furnace and you need a new furnace. So if that is the case and you want a very simple common sense approach to picking a furnace, if that's the case, I'd appreciate you calling and giving me a chance to meet with you and discuss your options. So call me. It's one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. Just one number. Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600. That's Bart Inman, 314-293-2600, or on the web is bartinman.com. Now there's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
It is 6:37. Let's get you updated on your money report from Bloomberg. It is sponsored this hour by Eamon Gantner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. President Trump plans a dinner tonight with Wall Street bigwigs. The move aimed at solidifying support of America's business elite. We're told J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon will be among those attending. This dinner comes as the president faces rising political pressure on the economy and affordability. Wall Street betting the largest shutdown in U.S. history is soon coming to an end. That drove a rebound in the Dow. It ended up 559 points yesterday, but the tech-heavy NASDAQ fell 58 points. And this morning, futures indicate a higher open on Wall Street. Visa is testing the ability for businesses to send stable coins directly to consumers' cryptocurrency wallets. The payments giant piloting the feature as part of Visa Direct. And Google accused of snooping on users. A lawsuit claims Google used its Gemini AI assistant to unlawfully track private communications of its users. I'm John Tucker, Bloomberg Radio.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are discussing breast cancer with Dr. Debbie Bennett with Washington University School of Medicine and Siteman Cancer Center. Dr. Bennett, thank you very much for being with us.
You're welcome. Happy to be here.
Tell us about Siteman's mammography van and what it offers to the community.
The van is a really important of our mammography program, and it goes out into the community to meet people where they are physically located for those people that are not able to travel to one of our sites. It goes throughout the community. It goes to both corporate sites and also to some of our harder to reach communities. And the idea is to provide equal access to quality care for everybody.
Dr. Bennett, thank you so much for the time.
You're welcome.
To see the upcoming schedule of the van, just go to Siteman's website or call 314-747-7222. Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
640, here's Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
So the still working the crash on North 55, Tom. This traffic reports the service of Moolah Shriner Center. That's the one near the Mattis overpass before 270. Left lanes are closed. Traffic's jammed. The back pretty close to Merrimack Bottom, so it's really getting solid there. It's still kind of slow from Bayless up to about Loughborough as well. North 270, Big Bend up to Manchester. A couple of spots north of there up to Ladue where it's a little busy. South 270, Olive to Ladue is slow. Southbound 61, south of W, busy down to Wentzville Parkway. It's jammed on eastbound 64 from 364 into about Winghaven. It looks like we have an incident just before Winghaven because it opens up at that point. A to Lake St. Louis Boulevard's busy. Southbound 79, about a mile plus delay, slowdown coming down from old Hackman down to North Main Street. Eastbound 70 around Cave Springs, a little slow on the Illinois side. Eastbound 64 jam 50 through Greenmount. Route 3 backed up from Jerome up to Monsanto because of a train crossing. Next update at 6:50 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Sponsored by the Moolah Shrine Center Festival of Trees.
Hello, everyone. I want to invite you to the Moolah Festival of Trees. Come see over 40 of the best decorated trees you'll ever see. Adult tickets are only $2 and kids under 12 are free. November 22nd through the 29th at the Moolah Shrine Center.
6:42, let's get you caught up on the weather, which is just getting nicer as we head towards the weekend. And we get all the details from AccuWeather's Joe Lundberg.
Yeah, the cold weather, Debbie, of Sunday and Monday is now in our rearview mirror. And with sunshine today, it's going to get even warmer than yesterday when we got to almost 60. We'll get to 66 today. And tonight, clear to partly cloudy. It'll be chilly. Most suburbs in the mid to upper 30s. 41 downtown at the Arch. Tomorrow, sunshine through some high clouds. We'll settle into the mid-60s once again, but they're gone for Friday, and with full sunshine, it's really going to get warmer, up to 76 and upper 70s on Saturday. Partly sunny skies ahead of a cold front. In fact, the record of 81 set in 1971 is within reach. Behind that front, there's not going to be any rain with it, just sunny and cooler on Sunday, the high about 61. Right now, it's about 40 at St. Peter's, 37 in Florissant, clear and 44 downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's 6:43, sports coming your way in just 2 minutes. The House of Representatives will return to work and vote on the legislation that passed the Senate that will reopen the government. CBS News congressional reporter Torrin Small says that the Senate Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer, continues to face backlash because of the compromise legislation.
Democrats across the board are largely against this continuing resolution that we saw pass out of the Senate over the weekend. Only 8 Senate Democrats joined with Republicans to get this across the finish line. We've seen Democrats in the House call for his resignation, none in the Senate just yet, but it's clear, even though Senator Schumer did not vote for this bill, the fact that members were able to broker a deal without his blessing and get this over the finish line, to them says that he should not be leader.
Democrats in the Senate had been withholding support for the continuing resolution because they wanted Affordable Care Act subsidies to continue. As part of the deal, the Senate will have a vote by mid-December. However, Speaker Mike Johnson has indicated the House of Representatives will not be taking any legislative action on the issue.
Voting with Republicans is a move that infuriated many in his party. Now Senator Dick Durbin is defending his vote to end the shutdown.
Many of my friends are unhappy. They think we should have kept our government closed indefinitely to protest the policies of the Trump administration. I share their opinions of this administration, but cannot accept a strategy which wages political battle at the expense of my neighbor's paycheck or the food for his children.
Durbin says he is counting on Republican leader John Thune to schedule a vote on extending health care subsidies. However, that is not included in this new bill.
Arizona Democrat Adelita Grijalvo will be sworn into the House today, providing the final signature needed to force a House floor vote on a bill to compel the release of the Jeffrey Epstein case files. Once signed, a 7-day legislative day ripening period begins before the vote can be scheduled, with the earliest final vote during the first week of December.
Small business optimism dropped in October, according to the latest NFIB index, which says it is down 0.6 points, while the uncertainty index fell 12 points, the lowest reading of the year. NFIB chief economist Bill Dunkelberg says businesses reported lower sales and reduced profits in October, while many are still having difficulty hiring. Labor quality ranked as the top problem, 11 points higher than Texas.
It is 6:45.
Jordan Bennington, 348 games played in net. That is a Blues record. And passing Mike Liut. He also made 38 saves last night in a 3-2 win over Calgary.
Yeah, I feel like they were throwing a lot at the net. And, as a goalie, sometimes you're like that, just to feel the puck a lot and stay in the game. And, giving up 2 late in the second was not what we were looking for. So we came in here and we regrouped and we found a way to get it done. But, we had good chances. Their goalie played well too. And I think it's good to see our game come along.
The Blues right now have 15 points. They are no longer in last place in the Central Division. That distinction belongs to the Nashville Predators. Calgary, the worst team in the NHL, with just 10 points. One of the best teams in the country in college basketball resides in Champaign, Illinois. Watch out for the Fighting Illini this year. They looked very good last night in a victory over Texas Tech. Final score was 81-77. 14th ranked Illini get the win at home over the number 11 Red Raiders in a thriller last night. Andrei Stojakovic led the Illini with 23 points on 11 of 16 shooting. He was perfect on his first 5 shots. He had 13 second-half points, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks, and an assist. Guard Kylan Boswell had 22 points, knocked down 3 threes, and made 9 free throws. Zvonimir Ivisic had a very good night, 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Ivisic's 3 blocks brought Texas Tech to 10 over the last 2 games for him, and a terrific win for Illinois, 81-77 over Texas Tech. Good one tonight in Columbia. It's Mizzou taking on Minnesota. Former KMOXer Mike Grimm, the longtime voice of the Minnesota Golden Gophers, and he'll be in Columbia. He made a few trips there back in the day, as Mizzou will be taking on Minnesota tonight. They look to go 4-0 on the season. So far, it has been an interesting season for Missouri. They started off with a win at Howard. Good for them, going on the road to play a mid-major, 88-67. Then they struggled a bit at home against Southeast Missouri State, just an 89-84 win against the team that SLU blew out by 25 points. But Missouri muscled up in their third game. They looked much better. They attacked the zone defense that VMI threw at them, and they dropped the hammer on VMI. 106-68 was the final in that one. So a fascinating matchup tonight in Columbia between Mizzou and Minnesota. I'm Tom Ackerman on the voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Coverage varies by plan, view contracts, and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-693-3109. 800-693-3109. Again, that's 800-693-3109.
This fall, get a taste of what's to come at Dragonstone, an exclusive new Lombardo Homes community in Darden Prairie, west of Highway K and south of 364. Join us Saturday, November 15th at our Inverness display in O'Fallon for a grand opening celebration filled with treats, a cozy coffee bar, mini pumpkin pies, and a first look. Dragonstone, building Tradition Series homes and offering only 5 spacious home sites. Dragonstone offers luxury and privacy, as well as the convenience of living just minutes from Highway 364 and 64. Visit LombardoHomes.com for more information.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Now the news at 1 the fun. It's the Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's time for us to take a look at the roadways and your ride in. Also the weather, which is going to be pretty nice today. More on that after we check in with Roger Brand and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we still have a jam on 55, Debbie. This traffic reports the service of Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing. That crash north 55 at the Mattis Overpass in the left lanes has a solid jam. Back to Merrimack Bottom now. Northbound 55 is also a little slow at 67, and it's a little slow from Bayless up to River to Pear. Northbound 67, those signals at Double C have a jam back pretty close to Buck Creek as well. On the Illinois side, eastbound 64 backed up from 50 through Greenmount pretty solidly. A westbound 64 backed up from the 70 split over to a point just before Route 3. It looks like we have a crash there. Route 3, Queenie through Monsanto is busy, but it's better. The train has crossed through there. Eastbound 70 from A to Lake St. Louis, from Bryan Road into K around T.R. Hughes, approaching 370 through Cave Springs. That's all slow. Southbound 61 approaching P, and then Wentzville Parkway onto 64 at the Boulevard and east of 364 midway into K is pretty busy. If you're on North 270, you've got that delay from Big Bend to Manchester, Clayton Road up to Ladue. South 270, 364 to Ladue is pretty slow. Next update at 6:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
My best friend Jenny came over for coffee, said it's cold enough in here to play hockey. Well, my furnace broken, it's already late. Call Jerry Kelly because they're open till 8, jerrykelly.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. Jerry Kelly.
Nice week this week. A high of 66 today, 40 and maybe in the 30s in the outlying areas tonight. And then tomorrow back up to 65, all with sun. Friday 76, Saturday 79, Sunday a little cooler, 61 for the high. It's 40 right now.
The news continues at 6:52.
Approachers thing from the back of the building. We got a partial collapse in the back. Let's not risk this.
St. Louis firefighters had a busy 24 hours. A blaze in the 4600 block of Oregon caused a partial collapse. There are no reports of injuries. Monday night, everyone was able to get out safely from a 3-story home on Portland Place. When crews arrived, fire was shooting through the roof. In the 3900 block of Cook, a firefighter suffered non-life-threatening injuries fighting a blaze in a 2-story brick building. And on South Wharf, a fire in an abandoned brick warehouse broke out And as of now, they don't have any causes for any of those fires.
A small plane crashed near Wild Horse Creek and Wilson Road in Chesterfield last night. The aircraft was making its final approach to Spirit of St. Louis Airport around 6 p.m. During the descent, the pilot successfully deployed the plane's emergency parachute, and the two men walked away without injury.
The best city in America for singles is St. Louis, at least according to a new report by Zumper that cites St. Louis's cheap rent, nightlife offering, steady job market, and its own Central Park. That would be Forest Park, obviously. The report says half of St. Louis's population is made up of single people. It does cite the area's high crime rate, but says it's a rare combination to be this affordable while offering such great opportunities.
Bonnie, there's a package for you.
Well, here they are. They're back again. Woody, Buzz, Jesse, and the gang back for Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th. The toys are horrified to find out that the age of toys is over and they have been replaced by technology. Specifically, LilyPad, a frog-shaped tablet voiced by Greta Lee that 8-year-old Bonnie appears to be very excited about. Tony Hale also returns as Forky. Conan O'Brien joins the cast as a toilet training tech toy named Smarty Pants. Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Joan Cusack are all back voicing Woody, Buzz, and Jesse.
I still need to watch Toy Story 4. I haven't seen that one, and every adult I know who's watched it says they sobbed. But that is a pretty clever premise that the toys have been replaced by technology, because it's true. All parents who are trying to buy things for their kids for Christmas, they don't want toys. You can't buy them a little game. They want $500 electronics now. And you're like,
right.
What happened to toys?
I think there was, I can't remember one from the other. Obviously, I remember 1 and 2, but there was one, maybe it was 4, where we all cried at the end.
I usually cry at Toy Story, I have to admit.
Always been good. First one came out when I was in college.
Wow.
I mean, it's been a while. 6:55.
I heard it's somebody's birthday.
Birthday excitement.
It's your birthday.
Final play of the game. In regulation. It is caught by Dyson. Can he get in? No, he cannot. Mike Jones made the tackle. And the Rams have won the Super Bowl.
From the 1999 season, the voice of Al Michaels. It's remarkable. He's still doing games, the Thursday night game on Amazon. Al Michaels is 81 today. Still sounds great.
And the birthday shout out is sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back, family owned and top rated, RennerDoorSTL.com. Happy birthday wishes to Arlene Pelak, Jennifer McGrath, Kofi Coleman of the Muni, John Brown, Richard Muller from Kathleen, David, and Andrew, Marianne Puckett. Happy birthday to you from Anne. Trisha Everding here at Odyssey St. Louis is celebrating. So is Dave Klein. And the most important birthday today, my daughter Kaylee turns 21 years old today. I don't know how that happened.
This is the best birthday ever.
Legendary Fast Eddie of Fast Eddie's Bon Air and Redbirds Hall of Famer Jason Isringhausen.
Hey, Izzy, what's going on, man? Looks kind of like you got something on your mind.
Well, Eddie boy, I'm thinking you may need to change the name of your place from Fast Eddie's to $5 Eddie's.
$5 Eddie's? Man, why in the world would I call it $5 Eddie's?
Well, I was in there the other day and bought myself the coldest beer I've ever had in my life, and I gave the guy $5. And then I went over and got some of those huge cold water peel and eat shrimps, and I gave her $5.
Well, I never really thought about that. There's a lot of $5 going on in there.
And then I went back up and got one of those huge Fast Eddie cheeseburgers, and I gave them $5 again.
Man, definitely has a ring to it. I think there's a lot of $5 going on.
Yeah, and I had about $100 worth of good time.
Well, that's good to hear, and it's easy to do with live music 7 days a week and a big old party going on that big, beautiful outdoor patio.
Well, like Mr. Shannon always says, if you're 21 and in the mood, head on over to Fast Eddie's Bon Air in Alton, Illinois, and maybe take a selfie on that old Harley Davidson of mine.
Who else has got a Cardinal Hall of Famer's Harley Davidson sitting out on the patio for some selfies?
Only Eddie boy.
For residential and commercial heating repairs, service, maintenance, or installation, contact Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation. With over 50 years of HVAC service, get in your comfort zone this winter. Visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Many of you know that my inspiration for becoming an accident attorney was my brother Tim, who was rendered a quadriplegic at age 18. I didn't know what a personal injury lawyer was or what they did, but I soon did. Tim was treated terribly by the insurance company, and I became enraged. It was a constant delay and deny. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Tim later worked with me for 27 years. Last year, my hero died at age 65. You can see my eulogy for him by visiting mybrothertim.com. He was one hell of a man. Because of Tim, together we built the largest injury firm in the world, and our clients are treated the way I would want my family to be treated. At Morgan & Morgan, nobody is a nobody and everybody is a somebody. If you need our help, visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer. See you soon, Tim. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
6:59. Let's check the roads with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Tom, there's still blocking the left lane for the crash northbound 55 at the Mattis Road overpass, so traffic is starting to slow at the Merrimack River, and it jams north of Merrimack Bottom up to that scene. After that, you're good to go. North 270, Big Bend up to Manchester, Clayton Road up to Ladue is busy. South 270, south of 364 to Ladue, that's slow. Southbound 61, coming down through P to Wentzville Parkway, a couple of slow spots. It's busy to the Boulevard. East of 364, most of the way into Highway K, you've got volume. If you're on eastbound 70, backed up Lake St. Louis through Bryan Road, it's slow approaching 370 into Cave Springs. Southbound 79 near between Dyer and Dalbo Road, you've got delays. And on the Illinois side, westbound 64 jams approaching the Poplar because of a crash. From the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is the CBS News World News Roundup, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The longest government shutdown in U.S. history, count them, 43 days, could be history at the end of this day. The House is expected to reconvene this afternoon to hold a vote. Correspondent Nicole Killian is on Capitol Hill.
Despite approving a short-term funding package in September, the House will now take up a revamped Senate bill to extend federal funding through late January, with other portions of the government funded for a full year, including SNAP or food assistance.
Not included Democrats' main demands on health care subsidies. House Minority Speaker Hakeem Jeffries tried but failed to add an amendment.
Health care for people all across this country is on the brink of becoming unaffordable.
What happens next at the airports? Correspondent Chris Van Cleve checks in from Phoenix Sky Harbor.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warns of travel gridlock if the House doesn't vote to reopen the government quickly.
If this doesn't open, you might have airlines that say, we're gonna ground our planes. We're not gonna fly anymore. That's how serious this is.
Duffy is pledging to pay controllers about 70% of their missed pay 24 to 48 hours after the government reopens.
Air traffic control towers reported minimal staffing shortages yesterday. The USS Gerald R. Ford has moved into waters off South America as the president's standoff with Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro heats up. Correspondent Charlie Daggett reports from Washington.
The carrier and its destroyers, they're just adding to that massive buildup already deployed in the Caribbean, a show of force not seen there in decades. In response to the U.S. buildup, Venezuela is launching a massive deployment of military personnel and weapons across the country.
President John F. Kennedy's only grandson is throwing his hat into the political ring.
My name is Jack Schlossberg, and I'm running for Congress.
The 32-year-old is entering a crowded Democratic field looking to succeed Gerald Nadler in New York's 12th District in Manhattan. He has a large presence on social media where he often criticizes President Trump, as he did in his campaign announcement.
One dangerous man in control of all three branches of government. He's stripping citizens of their civil rights and silencing his critics.
Schlossberg says Democrats need to win control of the House.
Without it, we're helpless to a third term.
Michael Wallace, CBS News, New York.
He's been struggling as a college coach, but UNC's Bill Belichick denies speculation he's interested in returning to the New York Giants.
I'm focused on Wake Forest. That's it. And that's my commitment to this team. And next week it'll be
to our next opponent and so forth.
The 73-year-old was the defensive coordinator when the Giants won Super Bowls 21 and 25. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You could think you found your dream home online. The kitchen island looks perfect for your inner chef. The backyard, a paradise for your green thumb. And that extra room, hello walk-in closet. But here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. And this sound, yeah, you're going to be hearing a lot of that. Don't let your dream home turn into a nightmare. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay, things people love.
It is 7:04 and we have clear skies in downtown St. Louis, sunshine and 40 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. Soldiers Memorial Military Museum debuts a new exhibit on Veterans Day.
The new exhibit is a photographic essay focused on the Cold War nuclear arms race. Director Mark Sundlov says this topic is incredibly relevant today, telling KMOX while it may not feel like it, the doomsday clock is closer to midnight now than it has ever been.
2 minutes had been the closest that they estimated we had ever come to a nuclear war, even through those the darkest days of the Cold War. Interestingly, sadly, today they estimate we're at 89 seconds.
Sundlov says the exhibit won't be here long and will leave Soldiers Memorial in January. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
As political leaders took time to show respect for the men and women who have served our nation, the House Democratic Women's Caucus says standing up for women service members and veterans is one of their top priorities. Illinois Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski.
America's veterans, especially our women veterans, deserve lawmakers who do more than just say thank you.
The Democratic caucus says they deserve lawmakers who support their ability to live safe and healthy lives.
Right now, the Trump administration and Republicans in Congress are failing that test.
Budzinski says since August, the Trump administration proposed a rule to roll back abortion access for veterans. This rule would reinstate the VA's near-total abortion ban, including for cases of rape and incest. The caucus maintains if finalized, this policy would strip access to care for veterans, forcing them to either go without reproductive health care services or seek care outside of the VA. Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
The gender pay gap appears to be getting bigger again. KMOX's Megan Lynch has more.
And I really think this is a reality check on how slow progress has been and how far we still have to go.
Bankrate data analyst Alex Gailey says in the past 2 years, women have taken a step backward compared to their male counterparts in the workplace.
So the pay gap, as of the latest data available, which is 2024, went back down to 81 cents on the dollar. It was up to 84 cents on the dollar in 2022.
If trends from past decades hold, Gailey says pay equity between men and women is still another generation or two away. You can hear more this morning at 8:50 here on KMOX.
When Missouri lawmakers return to Jefferson City in January for their new session, phasing out the state's income tax will be high on the agenda. Governor Kehoe says he is laying the groundwork to ask Missouri voters to help make it happen. The income tax generates about $10 billion a year. And according to the Post-Dispatch, the governor offered no specifics about how to offset that, but says they're looking at other revenue streams. Last session, Republicans eliminated the state's capital gains tax, which caused Kehoe to withhold more than $500 million in spending in July. Combined with a dwindling budget surplus and a massive drop in federal aid, budget watchers are warning of lean times ahead.
A small plane crashed near Wild Horse Creek and Wilson Road in Chesterfield last night.
The aircraft was making its final approach to the Spirit of St. Louis Airport around 6 o'clock. During the descent, the pilot successfully deployed the plane's emergency parachute. Monarch Fire Protection District Fire Marshal Jim McKay spoke with Fox 2 News.
This was one of the fortunate ones. So
Most of them are landing where the wheels deploy or something, and you land, and there's but to actually come out of the air, no injuries. That's amazing. And they should go to church Sunday. Yeah, they are counting their blessings.
2 men walked away without an injury. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
From the business desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, Todd Schnook, chairman of and CEO of Schnook Markets, says that Ted Schnook has been appointed Schnook's next chief operating officer. In this expanded leadership role, Ted will have oversight for the company's strategic initiatives and daily execution of business priorities, as well as executive leadership for store operations, merchandising, marketing, communications, and supply chain.
Traffic and weather next at 7:08.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
Tom Ackerman for Busey Bank and Building Community, proudly recognizing the Community Action Agency of St. Louis County. Known as CASTLE, the agency is one of a network of community action agencies coming together to transition people out of poverty towards self-sufficiency. CASTLE serves 44,000 people in St. Louis County every year. Learn more about the Community Action Agency of St. Louis County at caastlc.org. That's caastlc.org.
This is Blake Trevunza, Commercial Relationship Manager at Busey. The Community Action Agency of St. Louis County, also known as CASTLE, helps people move from crisis to stability. With housing, food, health, legal aid, education, and more, CASTLE empowers families to break the cycle of poverty. Take action yourself and find out more about CASTLE, the Community Action Agency of St. Louis County. That's what building community is all about. Join Busey. Get involved as we continue building the communities we call home.
At Hardee's, every Tuesday is now Tender Bender Tuesday. Right now, download the Hardee's app and join My Rewards. Buy 3 hand-breaded chicken tenders, get 3 free. It's Tender Bender BOGO. Every Tuesday now through June 2026. This Tuesday, get 3 tenders, free. Next Tuesday, get them free. The Tuesday after that, you guessed it, free. Buy 3 tenders, get 3 free. Another great benefit for My Rewards members. Only at Hardee's. Registration and app required. Available for limited time at participating restaurants. See app for terms.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
It is 7:10. Let's get you a check of traffic and weather, and we start with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, certainly busier highways today than we had the last couple of days, Debbie, that's for sure. Northbound 55, they're still out there trying to wrap this crash up at the railroad overpass before you get to 270, so 55 is bogged down at Merrimack, bottom up to that point, and then it's busy again from Bayless up to River to Pear, North 270, Big Bend all the way up to Ladue, slow South 270, Olive to Ladue busy, southbound 61, pretty solid backup from Highway P down through Wentzville Parkway, and then once you hit 64, it's slow to Lake St. Louis Boulevard and approaching Winghaven most of the way into K, eastbound 70, Wentzville Parkway to 64, Lake St. Louis through the Bryan Road area, that's all busy, approaching 370 like Spencer Road overpass up to Cave Springs, there's a crash on the shoulder there, then it's slower city into 270 after that. Southbound 170 delays at the Parkway. Still have delays on the ramp due to roadwork. Southbound 270 on the westbound 370. And on the Illinois side, they cleared that crash before Route 3 on westbound 64, but there's still a jam back through the 70 split to about 3rd Street. And eastbound 64 still jammed 50 past Greenmount. Next update at 7:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
KMOX AccuWeather, plenty of sunshine and pleasant today and even warmer than yesterday, high 66. Clear to partly cloudy and chilly tonight, lows ranging from 33 in the coldest outlying areas to about 41 downtown at the Arch. We'll have sunshine through varying amounts of high cloudiness tomorrow, the high temperature 65. Friday, mostly sunny and warmer, high 76. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, we're looking at a clear sky, a nice morning. It's going to warm up, as Joe said, and currently we're looking at 40 degrees in downtown St. Louis.
It is 7:12. A fire closed the Salvation Army's food pantry in Arnold last holiday season. Now it is reopening just in time for Thanksgiving. The newly renovated facility will resume weekly food distribution today to those eligible. The expanded pantry will include a selection of canned goods, produce, and meat to more than 200 anticipated weekly visitors.
Starting today, any person with a valid SNAP card can get 2 meals at no cost from JoJo's Fish and Chicken on MLK Boulevard. Present a second piece of identification and get 50% off 2 additional meals. JoJo's partnering with SLU's Habitat for Neighborhood Business, a nonprofit associated with the Chaffetz School of Business that provides training and mentorship for minority-owned retail businesses. Byron Hayes, owner of JoJo's, says they want to help people in neighborhoods around his restaurant who are running short of food. They'll be doing the meal giveaway at least through Saturday, but possibly longer if the government shutdown continues.
FEMA money for mental health. The state of Missouri is distributing more than $815,000 in federal disaster money to local mental health care providers. Places for People will use the money to hire 4 full-time crisis counselors to canvass neighborhoods hard hit by the May tornado and attend community events. According to the Post-Dispatch, other agencies say they will focus on kids, schools, and checking in on residents.
The 46th Annual Storytelling Festival is going on now through November 16th.
This is the 4th year that the St. Louis County Library is the home of the Storytelling Festival. It existed, obviously, for many years before us through University of Missouri Extension, and they had approached us a couple years ago about taking over the festival, and we said yes, of course. So last year we had over 11,000 people attend.
St. Louis County Library Director Kristen Sorth says they got feedback last year that people wanted more workshops, including ones on how to tell your story. All the events are free and open to the public, with events at various locations in St. Louis City and county. Oh,
goodness!
Goodness.
That apparently is a mountain lion, in case you were wondering what they sound like. The Missouri Department of Conservation confirming a mountain lion sighting last month in Columbia. Alan Leary, wildlife biologist with the Missouri Department of Conservation, tells us where the big cats are coming from.
We have managed to get some DNA evidence from a few of them, and they tend to be from the Black Hills region of like South Dakota, Wyoming, out that way.
Leary says with the institution of Photoshop and AI, the department is very careful with how they confirm sightings.
We get many, many calls every year, and we don't confirm anything without physical evidence.
About 120 mountain lions have been confirmed in Missouri since 1994.
My goodness.
Calm down there, Tiger.
Missouri Tigers will be playing tonight in Columbia. 7 o'clock tip-off against Minnesota. Nice game there. Good one last night. Number 14, Illinois, beat number 11, Texas Tech in Champaign, 81-77. The Blues won 3-2 over the Calgary Flames. 348 games played for Jordan Bennington, who made 38 saves. That 348 eclipses Mike Liut. That is a Blues franchise record. Let's get back to some baseball talk and Bernie Miklasz on the GM meetings in Las Vegas. Chaim Bloom is there, Cardinals president of baseball operations, a very popular man. A lot of media want to talk to him, and a lot of teams want to talk to him about making deals. It's well known now that the Cardinals have players they want to trade. Sonny Gray, Nolan Arenado, maybe Wilson Contreras. What about a couple of players who don't have no trade clauses like those previous 3? Brendan Donovan, maybe even Alec Burleson? I posed that question to Bernie on the Gas House Gang.
Well, I think Arenado will agree to a trade. I don't think he's going to be picky at all. I think he realizes the time has come, and I think he's he would just, as much as he's like playing for the Cardinals, he realizes it's a good time to make a change. So they'll be able to trade him. They're going to have to eat some of the money. I think there'll be an active market for Sonny Gray because there's a lot of contending teams that would prefer to stay out of the free agent market, the high end of the free agent market for starters, but would be willing, hey, Sonny Gray's still good. He can pitch for us for 1 year. That's the whole point. We're trying to win it all in 2026. But even then, I think the Cardinals would have to absorb some of the costs. He's supposed to make $35 million this year. Then there's a buyout on top of that if they don't pick up his option for the following year. So it's about a $40 million contract. The Cardinals will have to eat some of that. But there will be a market for Sonny Gray, and I think there'll be quite a few teams. As far as, who do they trade off the roster? I think Brendan Donovan is clearly the best trade candidate in terms of value. I think there'll be the most interest in him. Although I do think if they put Alec Burleson on the market, there'd be a very active market for him, because Alec Burleson was really, really good last season, and he improved defensively. He improved his ability to hit left-handed hitters. His contact rate is great. He set career best for slugging percentage and a lot of other things. And I'm not saying he's a superstar, but this is a guy that's on the rise. This is a guy that has shown that he still has a ceiling that he can get to. And there's going to be more emphasis in Major League Baseball in terms of contact rates and fewer strikeouts. So he has appeal in that way too. And he can play multiple positions and handles them well. So, you know, he's not a liability at any defensive position, left field, right field, or first base. So I think they would get a lot for Burleson, but I don't know why they would trade Burleson, because he's under contract control through at least 3 more years, I believe.
Yeah, Alec Burleson, the Silver Slugger at the utility position. The full conversation on the Gas House Gang, available wherever you get your podcasts, and certainly at KMOX.com. We'll be back on the air today at noon. I'm Tom Ackerman on the voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
1964.
There when St. Louis celebrated.
Kenny Boyer, the batter. The Cardinals with their best opportunity. Bases loaded. 1 out. Boyer, who led the major leagues in runs batted in this year. There's a drive way back. It might be. It could be. It is a home run. Kenny Boyer, long-time due in this World Series, just became the 9th player to hit a grand slammer. He hit a changeup.
The day is one to remember in the city of St. Louis. The Cardinals are world champions.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
Attention veterans and active military. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is doubling their usual veterans discount on all products and services in November. That means veterans and active military get 10% off all month at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, 10% off all doors, openers, and any service or repair. Details on their website. Schedule your annual garage door tune-up before winter really sets in. Just call 314-781-5200 or schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
I hear from sellers all the time that they fear they have missed out on the selling market. They are so relieved to learn September, October, and November are strong selling months. With low inventory and hopefully lower interest rates, this fall will be a hot one for real estate. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. You may have heard me say, why pay more than 4 for years? Now it's why pay more than 2, saving you even more money. Call me 314-441-4444. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri, Kansas, and Nevada.
Total Information AM. The news continues on 104.1 FM KMOX.
7:21 and time for traffic and weather here on 104.1 FM KMOX. We are the voice of St. Louis. This is Total Information AM. And here's Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Debbie, they cleared the crash finally. North 55 south of 270. North 55 still has delays into 67, and it's still backed up north of Merrimack Bottom most of the way up to 270. By the time you get to Butler Hill, it sorts itself out. It's also backed up again from the Union Road overpass up through River to Pear. North 270 is your ramp on from 55. Most of the way up to Ladue is just busy the whole way through. Southbound 270, 364 to Ladue is slow. Eastbound 70, Wentzville Parkway into 64, Lake St. Louis all the way in through to 79, 370 to Cave Springs, the Blanchett into 270. It's all busy. Southbound 61 north of P, pockets of heavy traffic down onto 64 to the Boulevard. Winghaven most of the way into K through Clarkson and around the Interbelt. If you're on southbound 79, Dalbo Road down through TR Hughes, not a jam, but it's busy in spots, so that's pretty heavy. Westbound 64 from 25th Street over to 3rd Street, and then it's just heavy on the Poplar. And eastbound 64 jams approaching 50 all the way in through Greenmount. Southbound 170 bogs down at Ladue to 64. Westbound 64 Hampton to Big Bend is slowing. Next update at 7:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
As for the weather, Roger, it's going to be an amazing day today. Sunny and 65. If you like that, well, we're going to have it again tomorrow, sunny and 65. Friday, sunny and 76. Saturday, 79. And then Sunday, a little cooler, sunny and a high of 61. It's 41 right now. The weather is sponsored by the Bruning Law Firm. With decades of courtroom experience and thousands of five-star reviews, the Bruning Law Firm has built a reputation for fighting hard and winning big. When your future is on the line, you want seasoned attorneys in your corner. Visit bruninglegal.com today.
The news continues at 7:23. Breaking overnight, an early morning police pursuit that began in Pontoon Beach ended in an hours-long standoff in North St. Louis. The chase involved a man and woman inside a car, which stopped at near West Florissant and Alcott. Shots were fired, reportedly from inside the vehicle, about 3:40 a.m. The standoff concluded safely around 6 a.m. with one suspect taken into custody. Fox 2's Chris Renier has been at the scene following developments.
We are at the intersection of Alcott and West Florissant here in the Walnut Park East neighborhood of North City. To kind of give you a landmark, we are right across the street from the Cavalry Cemetery. The scene where this standoff unfolded after the chase was right behind us here. Police clearing the area. Police were processing this car for some time. They just towed away this Buick Regal literally minutes ago. Earlier, there were some very tense moments here during this standoff, which at one point included gunfire. And those were those gunshots that you heard earlier coming from that car that police were chasing. This all started about 1:20 this morning over in Pontoon Beach. The Pontoon Beach Police Chief, Chris Madruzik, telling me that his officers were patrolling Horseshoe Lake State Park over there and noticed this car parked in the park after the park was closed. The officers approached the vehicle, and when they started talking to these two people inside, an adult man and an adult woman, Chief Madruzik says that his officers saw a gun in that vehicle. That's when they ordered the two people to get out of the car. Instead, Madruzik says the pair took off in this car, hitting a Pontoon Beach police vehicle in the process. That started the chase. Our Brian Howe captured video of that chase as it sped down 70 and got off at Adelaide here in North City, eventually winding up at our location. This standoff that ensued after the car stopped went on for almost 4 hours here. The St. Louis City Police SWAT team was called out. Eventually, there was a peaceful resolution with at least one suspect, we believe the male driver, taken into custody in connection with this case. No injuries being reported. The St. Louis police investigation ongoing, as well as the police investigation with Pontoon Beach. We are working to get more details.
The Major Case Squad is wrapping up its investigation into a juvenile's killing in Lincoln County.
Dead on Monday near a wood line by Foley Island. 25-year-old Brendan Brown of Foley now faces charges, including first-degree murder. Investigators say the death stems from a planned robbery during an arranged drug deal Monday afternoon. Police allege the victim and 3 other juveniles were trying to steal marijuana from Brown. Brown allegedly fired 3 shots as the teenager ran away with the drugs. The victim was struck in the back and died. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
It is now 6:26. Marion County, Kansas, agreeing to pay more than $3 million and to apologize over a police raid on a small-town weekly newspaper.
The 2023 raid came after a dispute between a local restaurant owner and the Marion County Record and an investigative piece into the background of the police chief.
It's intimidation. I think that the whole point of this was intimidation.
Editor Eric Myers' 98-year-old mother died the day after police searched her home. A prosecutor said there was insufficient evidence to support the raid. Now, Myers says of the settlements,
it's blood money. You don't want blood money. Practical reality is people don't take things seriously unless it has a cost to it.
Steve Kathan, CBS News.
It's 7:27. This time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
There's no celebration of St. Louis sports like the Jack Buck Awards of the Missouri Athletic Club. December 8th, live on KMOX. What a night. The Jack Buck Awards started in 1970. Then it was called the Sports Personality of the Year dinner. And Mr. Buck honored Bob Gibson as the Sports Personality of the Year back then. You can only win it once. And I'm actually surprised this guy hasn't won it, although he's been on the ballot. But last year won the Four Nations face-off, guided the Blues to the playoffs, and last night eclipsed Mike Liut as the most games played in Blues history. He's also the winningest goaltender in Blues history. Jordan Binnington, voted by the members of the MAC as the Sports Personality of the Year for 2025. Also celebrated on December 8th will be the legendary St. Louis Cardinals quarterback, Jim Hart. He'll receive the Legends Award. The Carl O. Bauer Award for amateur athletics goes to Matty DiMaria, soccer player for Koryezu, the National Player of the Year. Also, we'll be celebrating some broadcasters. John Rooney, voice of the Cardinals, receiving the Jack Buck Award and the Burns Bragg Award, both of those awards for dedication to sports in St. Louis. It will be Bob Ramsey and Earl Austin Jr. It's going to be a great night. The David Freese Hometown Hero Award goes to Jason Tatum of the Celtics. The St. Louis native won't be able to attend, but is preparing a video presentation. It's going to be a tremendous night with more surprises in store. The Missouri Athletic Club, the Jack Buck Awards.
Debt payments keeping you up at night. Credit cards, medical bills, personal loans, it can all add up and feel impossible to keep up. If you owe $10,000 or more in unsecured debt, JG Wentworth may be able to help you and put you on the path to freedom in as little as 24 to 48 months. Imagine one affordable monthly payment instead of juggling multiple bills and creditors. We've helped thousands of people cut their debt by up to 50% before fees, and we don't get paid unless we reduce your debt. The more you owe, the more you could save. Call 877-CASH now. The call is free, the consultation is free, and there's no obligation to sign up. Call today for your free consultation. 877-CASH now. That's 877-CASH now. Don't wait. Every day you delay could cost you more. Call 877-CASH now today. Results vary, not all debts qualify. Debt resolution impacts credit and may increase what you owe. Average savings before fees 43%, 25% after fees. The choice to stop paying creditors is yours. JG Wentworth does not pay debts or provide legal, tax, or credit repair services.
In the last 20 years or so, have you all had buy a replacement refrigerator, washer, dryer, dishwasher after 20 years, 25 years, and then replace with a new one in the last year, like 1 or 2 or 3 years? I have. I had a refrigerator 9 years old, so I asked the appliance tech, do I need to get to real high-end stuff? And his response to me was, there's no difference in the very expensive stuff and to what you have right here. The only difference is they make them look different, and they all break the same way. The only difference being the high-end parts are extremely expensive. So if you need a furnace or an air conditioner or both, call me, Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600, or on the internet, bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com.
It is 7:30. We have sunshine, some bright sunshine, in fact, and 40 degrees right now in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. Looks like things have picked up out there. Roger Brand, overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Yeah, lots of slow traffic, Tom. Southbound 61 from Highway P down onto 64 to Lake St. Louis Boulevard, and then east of 364 through Winghaven's backed up. It's slow around Clarkson and the Interbelt. Westbound 64 to the Science Center to Hanley's at a slower pace. Southbound 79 Dyer Road down through Hackman, pretty backed up, but it's slow all the way down to North Main Street, and then another slowdown at T.R. Hughes. Eastbound 70, Wentzville Parkway into 64, Lake St. Louis into Bryan Road, K into T.R. Hughes is busy, and from 94 most of the way into 270 is kind of crowded right now. Northbound 270 jams as you ramp on from 55, then it's just slow all the way to Ladue. South 270, 364 to Ladue is busy. North 55 still has heavy traffic midway up from 61 into 67 through McNutt. It's backed up. North of Merrimack Bottom slow, at least the right lane's up to 270 from the earlier crash. Backed up Union Road overpass to River to Paris, still busy up through Virginia. Westbound 64 from 25th Street to the Poplars heavy. Eastbound 64 jams approaching 50 past Greenmount Road in the construction zone. Next update at 7:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Weather forecast, plenty of sunshine, pleasant, even warmer than yesterday, a high of 66. Clear to partly cloudy, chilly tonight, lows in 33 in the coldest areas to 41 downtown. Tomorrow, sunny, high 65, Friday 76, Saturday 79 degrees. Currently, it's 41 downtown at the Arch.
The government shutdown nears a possible end today after a key House committee advanced the Senate-passed funding bill overnight.
It was going on 2 a.m. Eastern Time before the House Rules Committee moved the funding bill forward with all Republicans in favor and all Democrats opposed. Republican Tom Cole of Oklahoma.
All the difficulty Americans have endured in these past 6 weeks could have and should have been avoided.
The Republican majority rejected all Democratic amendments and say they're confident the bill will pass the full House, but with only a 2-vote majority, it will be close. Michael Toscano, CBS News, Washington.
A university in California is facing federal scrutiny after a Turning Point USA event on campus. CBS News Bay Area reporter Kelsey Thorud has the story.
Attorney General Pam Bondi saying the FBI-led Joint Terrorism Task Force is investigating Monday night's, quote, violent riots. About 900 people attended the event, Turning Point USA's first in California since its founder, conservative activist Charlie Kirk, was shot and killed. The university spokesperson said a single violent incident happened on a sidewalk. Our cameras captured 2 men getting into a fight before they were arrested by Berkeley police. The university says 2 others were arrested by campus police.
The school released a statement saying they will fully cooperate and they condemn all violence and will hold accountable anyone who violates the law or campus regulations.
Great Rivers Greenway is celebrating 25 years and looking ahead to new projects.
We have 140 miles and counting, and these are paved pathways where you can walk, run, push a stroller, roll a wheelchair, ride a bicycle.
Emma Clues says you can have a front row seat at a discussion tomorrow about what's down the road. Great Rivers has 8 bridge projects in planning to better connect the network, and you can find out more tomorrow night at 8 at the Clark Family Branch Library.
The news sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Your Money Minute next.
St. Louis, meet your new favorite way to start the day. The Chris and Amy Show. It's not the same old talk. It's fresh, it's different, and it's local. Chris and Amy dig into the news that matters, but they also keep it light, keep it fun, and keep you smiling. Serious when it needs to be, silly when it can be. That's pure entertainment with a local heartbeat. The Chris and Amy Show, weekdays at 9 on the Voice of St. Louis, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
It is 7:36, and it's time for your money report from Bloomberg, sponsored by Busey Bank.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Optimism over an end to the shutdown as stocks higher once again this morning. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed at a record high yesterday, helping lift stocks this morning. Advanced Micro Devices, the stock was up more than 5% pre-market. NVIDIA's nearest rival in AI chips predicting accelerating sales growth over the next 5 years, driven by strong demand for its data center products. At a company event in New York, the CEO said annual revenue growth will average more than 35% over the next 3 to 5 years. Visa is testing the ability for businesses to send stable coins directly to consumers' crypto wallets for global payouts. The stablecoin payout option targets growing demand for digital tokens. And the International Energy Agency is further pulling back on the idea of an imminent peak in oil demand, the group reinstating a scenario where global consumption keeps growing to the middle of the century. I'm John Tucker, Bloomberg Radio.
Life doesn't stand still, and neither do your goals. At Busey Bank, we're here to help you move forward with the financial tools, local support, and expert guidance you need to take your next step. Whether you're growing a business, leaving a legacy, or saving for the future, you'll have a team that's ready when you are. UC Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
At Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, every moment with our patients is a gift. This holiday season, you can be the reason children have hope as they fight serious illness and reach milestones once thought impossible. Your gift provides life-saving care to those who need it most. Please donate today at treeofhope.org and be the reason a child has hope for tomorrow.
It's easy to feel apprehensive about getting screened for cancer or to just keep putting it off. But Siteman Cancer Center wants to remind you how important it is, especially after the age of 40. And they also want you to know how easy it is to get it done. GetScreenedNow.com has all the information you need on cancers like prostate, breast, colon, lung cancer. You can also find out your risk of disease by answering just a few simple questions. And then you can find one of the hundreds of screening locations in the area. Even if you're a little farther out, there is probably a place near you. You have heard this before, but catching cancer early dramatically increases the odds of a successful treatment, especially with so many cancers showing up earlier in life. So do not be intimidated. Siteman will make the process as simple as possible. GetScreenedNow.com. Do it for your family and friends who count on you. Do it for yourself. Visit GetScreenedNow.com.
i3 Broadband, where in the spirit of the season, you can feast on 100% fiber internet. Whether you're shopping, streaming, gaming, or gathering, you need reliable and fast internet, and that's the good stuff you can stuff yourself on when you have i3. They always mirror upload and download speeds. They have a price lock guarantee, and you get unbeatable value, support, and service. Call today, 877-976-0711. They have plans for any budget, and you're likely to pay less money for better service compared with whoever currently provides your internet. That's i3 Broadband, i3broadband.com.
Discover the life you want at Fairwinds River's Edge in St. Charles. We deliver a life-enhancing environment that nourishes the mind, body, and spirit as residents lean into joy and embrace purpose in a new age of senior living. Simply put, we have your back so you can put your best foot forward. Join us Wednesday, December 3rd for our holiday craft fair, followed by happy hour with BB Boomers. Visit Fairwinds River's Edge on Facebook to learn more.
They're playing basketball. Saturday night, it's men's Billikens basketball as they face Grand Canyon. Pre-game 6:45, tip at 7 on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Sponsored by the Moolah Shrine Center Festival.
That'll be a fun one. Let's go to Roger Brand, overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Tom, this traffic reports a service of the Moolah Shriner Center. If you're coming in from out west on eastbound Highway 70, there's slow stuff from A all the way into pretty much Bryan Road, from K into T.R. Hughes, from 94 into the Rock Road, southbound 61, bumper-to-bumper pockets from P down into 64, which is slow to the Boulevard, and then 364 through Winghaven, Annie Guns up through Clarkson, and busy east of Lindbergh, southbound 170, bogs down at Olive, south 270, Dorset down to Ladue is heavy, westbound 64 backed up from almost Kings Highway Science Center, I guess, really Clayton Skinker, and then it's slow out through Big Bend. Northbound 55, there's a little busy traffic right around McNutt. The right lanes are slow at Butler Hill, but then from Green Park all the way up through Virginia is heavy. On the Illinois side, westbound 64 from Baugh Avenue, or almost 25th Street really, to the Poplar is pretty congested, and eastbound 64 is a jam from approaching 50 past Greenmount. Next update is 7:50 from the overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Sponsored by the Moolah Shrine Center Festival of Trees.
Hello, everyone. I want to invite you to the Moolah Festival of Trees. Come see over 40 of the best decorated trees you'll ever see. Adult tickets are only $2 and kids under 12 are free. November 22nd through the 29th at the Moolah Shrine Center.
7:41. Let's check in with our AccuWeather meteorologist, Joe Lundberg. It looks beautiful out the windows here of Studio B with bright sunshine, blue skies.
It is. It's nice and sunny. It's still on the chilly side, although there's just not much wind. Some of the outlying areas are still in the 30s, but we're now warming past 40. And with that sunshine today, we're going to get to 66. We start out clear this evening, then some clouds later tonight. We'll dip into the 30s again in many of the suburbs, about 41 downtown at the Arch. Tomorrow, that sun will be dimmed by high clouds. I'd still call it a nice day to be out and about, the high 65. Pick of the week, Matt's hands down Friday with sunshine. My goodness, we're going to go up to 76 degrees far cry from how cold it was just a couple of days ago. And Saturday, we keep the warmth going one more day, partly sunny and breezy, the high 79. More sunshine for Sunday, but just cooler. Still a nice day, the high 61. Right now, it's 40 at St. Peter's, 43 in Florissant, clear, sunny, 44 downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's 7:42. Sports coming up in just a few minutes. An early morning police pursuit that began in Pontoon Beach ended in an hours-long standoff in North St. Louis. Fox 2 reporting the chase involved a man and a woman inside a car, which stopped near West Florissant and Alcott Avenues. Shots were reportedly fired from inside the vehicle around 3:40 a.m. The standoff concluded safely around 6 a.m. with one suspect taken into custody.
A small plane crashed near Wild Horse Creek and Wilson Road in Chesterfield last night. The aircraft was making its final approach to Spirit of St. Louis Airport around 6 p.m. During the descent, the pilot successfully deployed the plane's emergency parachute. Monarch Fire Protection District Fire Marshal Jim McKay spoke with Fox 2.
This is one of the fortunate ones. So most of them are landing where the wheels deploy or something, and you land, and there's but to actually come out of the air, no injuries, that's amazing. They should go to church Sunday. Yeah, they are counting their blessings.
2 men walked away without injury.
The cost of your favorite Italian pasta brands, including Barilla and Rumo, could be the latest target of U.S. tariffs.
It could have you saying, Mamma Mia. The Trump administration is considering a new import duty on 13 of Italy's largest pasta exporters. The total taxes could rise 107%. Some Italian pasta companies are warning they could stop exporting the products to the U.S. NYU economics professor Joseph Foudy.
Once you see about 10% of the market disappear, and Italian pasta is about 12% of U.S. sales, the remaining firms have an easy excuse to raise prices.
The White House spokesperson tells CBS News it's part of a proposal and not yet final. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Another study out this week shows AI chatbots offer risky information to users about eating disorders.
Michelle Wilson, registered dietitian with Brands Nutrition, has known clients who have tried using ChatGPT and other platforms for advice on eating disorders. Wilson says typically the information is pretty generic, but if there's a follow-up,
when someone wants to clarify why something was suggested or how to modify something that was suggested, then it can manipulate the suggestions to be concerning.
Speaking on Total Information AM, Wilson points out if someone provides misleading or false information in prompts to the AI chatbot, it will in turn send back similar responses. Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
Jordan Bennington is the Blues' all-time leader, not only in wins, but now games played, 348, passing Mike Liut, who is also his agent.
Maybe I'll send him a text tonight just for fun. But yeah, it's cool how it's working out like this. And obviously he's a big legend here, and he's in the Blues Hall of Fame, and someone I look up to and has been a big part of my career so far. So it's cool how life works like that.
And Bennington, who made 38 saves last night, was a huge part in the Blues knocking off Calgary 3-2. The Blues trying to get themselves going. They are out of last place in the Central Division now with 15 points, one better than Nashville. The Fighting Illini, terrific win for Illinois last night at home against Texas Tech. The 14th ranked Illini beat the number 11 Red Raiders 81-77. Andrei Stojakovic led the Illini with 23 points on 11 of 16 shooting. He was perfect on his first 5 shots, 13 points in the second half, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks, and an assist for the night. Guard Kylan Boswell, 22 points, 3 threes, 9 free throws, led the team with 3 assists. Zvonimir Ivasic had a great night all around, 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 blocks, knocked down 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. 3 blocks against Texas Tech brought him to 10 over the last 2 games. This is a very talented Illinois roster that is starting to get a lot of attention nationally, and that'll happen when you beat a team like Texas Tech. Again, the final in Champaign, 81-77. Meanwhile, Mizzou has a big game tonight at home against Minnesota. That one tips off at 7 o'clock. Both of those teams are undefeated. Same with Southern Illinois and Nevada as the Salukis visit Reno tonight at 9 o'clock. College football's playoff rankings remain unchanged 1 through 5. It's Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, Texas A&M 3, Alabama 4, and Georgia 5. The baseball GM meetings are taking place in Las Vegas this week. We've been discussing them at length on the Gas House Gang, and today at noon, we will be joined by Bob Nightingale, the USA Today baseball columnist, will give us the latest scoop from the meetings themselves. He is in Vegas, and so is Chaim Bloom, the Cardinals president of baseball operations. Very popular right now because a lot of teams know that the Cardinals are willing to make some trades. They have some names that they would not mind dealing. Nolan Arenado, Sonny Gray, Wilson Contreras, for the right price, of course, not to mention Brendan Donovan and Alec Burleson have been mentioned in some reports as trade targets, all pretty much for pitching, although they'll be looking around for just about anything that can boost this Cardinals team for the future. I'm Tom Ackerman on the voice of the Cardinals. We have the Gas House Gang today at noon on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. This fall, get a taste of what's to come at Dragonstone, an exclusive new Lombardo Homes community in Darden Prairie, west of Highway K and south of 364. Join us Saturday, November 15th at our Inverness display in O'Fallon for a grand opening celebration filled with treats, a cozy coffee bar, mini pumpkin pies, and a first look. Dragonstone, building Tradition Series homes and offering only 5 spacious home sites. Dragonstone offers luxury and privacy, as well as the convenience of living just minutes from Highways 364 and 64. Visit LombardoHomes.com for more information.
This holiday season, the Dave Glover Show is excited to partner with Hardee's and Operation Food Search for the Holiday Food Drive. While supplies last, stop by any metro area Hardee's and make a donation of at least $1 to benefit Operation Food Search and receive a limited edition DGS holiday sticker. All donations will benefit Operation Food Search to help children and families facing food insecurities. Get all the details about the campaign or to make an online donation, head to KMOX.com/events.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM KMOX.
7:50 and time to check in with Roger Brandon, the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we got delays, Debbie, on southbound 61 Highway P down onto 64 to the Boulevard, 364 into Winghaven's backed up, 94 to Research Park, Annie Guns to Timberlake, and then from Lindbergh through the Interbelt. The Interbelt's bogged down at Page, westbound 64 Kings Highway, most of the way to Big Ben's heavy. South 270 north of Dorset to Ladue is slow. Eastbound Highway 70 from Highway A all the way into Bryan Road, K to TR Hughes, 94 into the airport. There's heavy pockets. Southbound 79 from just south of, I guess it's Dyer Road all the way down through North Main Street is still slow, not jammed. Northbound 270 as a ramp on from 55 is busy. It's jammed from 44 up to Big Bend, but remains slow all the way to Ladue. 44 has delays east of Bowles, and there's heavy traffic east of Big Bend and Laclede Station in pockets. Northbound 55 at 67 at A, Butler Hill to 270, and all lanes from north of Lindbergh up to Virginia are pretty heavy. And then again from 55 out on the westbound 70 downtown. Westbound 64, Baugh to the Poplar is busy, and it's jammed eastbound 64 midway between 159 and 50 headed through Greenmount. Next update is 7:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
This weather forecast turned out to be just spectacular. I mean, we're looking at a warm day today, a high of 66. Tonight, we get down into the 30s, but no worries. Tomorrow, we're back up to 65 with sun. Friday, sunny, high 76. Saturday, sunny, high 79. Sunday, a little cooler, but still sunny, a high of 61 degrees. Currently, we're looking at 43 in St. Peter's, 41 in Florissant, and 43 with sun downtown at the Arch.
The news continues at 7:52. The nation spent Tuesday honoring those who have served in the armed forces. Jennifer King reports on Veterans Day events in Washington, D.C. and at Arlington National Cemetery and around the country, including some that had to be canceled due to the government shutdown.
We gather to fulfill the sacred duty of every free man and woman. On Veterans Day, we honor those who have worn the uniform, who have borne the battle, who have stood to watch, whose ranks have formed the mighty wall of flesh and blood, bravery and devotion that has defended our freedom for 250 years.
The U.S. marked Veterans Day with ceremonies and parades around the nation. On a chilly day at Arlington National Cemetery, President Trump attended a wreath-laying ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Because of what every veteran has done today, the flame of liberty shines bright. The people of our nation sleep safe. The American dream surges forward.
Also in attendance,
the most important natural resource that we have is that we have hundreds of thousands of young people every single month who sign up to put on the uniform and risk their lives for their fellow citizens. That is a resource we cannot squander. That is a resource we must protect.
Veterans Affairs Secretary Doug Collins and the Vice President J.D. Vance, himself a former Marine.
If you find yourself at a restaurant this evening and you see somebody wearing a uniform, buy them a meal if you're able, or buy them a beer. If you see a veteran of our nation's armed forces, if you know somebody in your family, give them a call and say thank you.
Many events at federal venues were curtailed or canceled due to the government shutdown. Organizers had to call off a Flag for Every Hero event at California's Riverside National Cemetery, and at Calverton National Cemetery on Long Island, visitors were greeted with a huge American flag hung by local firefighters instead of the usual ceremony.
Today, to every veteran, we love our veterans. We say the words too often left unsaid. Thank you for your service. Thank you very much.
I'm Jennifer King.
The Missouri Veterans Memorial outside the state capitol in Jefferson City has a new monument. Starting in 2022, the Missouri Veterans Commission worked to plan new memorials and approved this year for $157,000. The project involved constructing an obelisk for Iraq and Afghanistan veterans and finalizing the Gulf War Memorial. Paul Kirchhoff with Missouri Veterans Commission tells Missouri Net.
When they dedicated this in 1991, they did a great job of thinking about things, making it as honorable of a location as possible, and they did a great job.
A new exhibit at Soldiers Memorial Museum makes its debut on Veterans Day, 2 minutes to midnight, and the Architecture of Armageddon is a photographic essay focusing on the nuclear arms race from both an offensive and defensive perspective. Director Mark Sundlove tells KMOX the exhibit shows a nation trying to grapple with the perspective of nuclear war.
Seeing how the nation was trying to convince itself that there was a way to survive this, right? And building these installations for both the public, but also for our governmental leaders.
The exhibit is free and it runs through January 4th.
Traffic has really picked up or slowed down, however you want to look at it. We'll get to Roger Brand, a full report coming in just 2 minutes at 7:56.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs' attorneys. And for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based on advertising.
Let Banner Construction show you what a difference James Hardy can make to your home. Banner's exterior design team will show you custom design options to transform your home into the neighborhood showplace. Banner is a preferred James Hardy and Pella window specialist. With winter just around the corner, now is the time to think about Pella windows for energy efficiency and comfort. Call Banner Construction 314-569-1050 to schedule your free in-home consultation, or the website bannerconstruction.com, and have a banner day.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM. Visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Cold weather is coming, and heatupstlouis.org needs your help now. Your dollars can help keep the heat on for Missouri and Illinois veterans and families struggling with high utility bills. Donate today at heatupstlouis.org or drop a check to Heat Up St. Louis at any area Commerce Bank.
Here is Roger Brand with the latest from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Debbie, drivers going north on 270 have delays from north of 55 all the way up through Gravois. It's bumper to bumper, though, 44 all the way up through Doherty Ferry, then remains busy up to Ladue from that point. South 270 from Dorset down through Ladue, you've got some slow traffic running that way as well. If you're on South 270, actually from 370 on down to 70, it's also busy. Coming in from out west, eastbound 70, still heavy from A and through Lake St. Louis, from K and through TR Hughes, a little busy at Cave Springs, and Earth City into the Rock Road's kind of slow. On the Illinois side, 64 delays, Bought of the Poplar, and eastbound 64 jams approaching 50 through Greenmount. Next update at 8:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
I'm Sean Malone. Coming up, I'll tell you about the new exhibit at Soldiers Memorial.
I'm Maria Kina. An Illinois lawmaker sounding the alarm about what she says are problems in the military for women.
A plane went down in Chesterfield last night. 2 men walked away unharmed.
They should go to church Sunday. Yeah, they are counting their blessings.
I'm Stuart McMillan with that story.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Mostly sunny and pleasant today and becoming even warmer, the high 66.
For Debbie Monterrey, I'm Tom Ackerman. Megan Lynch is coming up next. And then I'll be back for the Gas House Gang at noon with Chris Ranji. We'll dive into the Cardinals at the GM meetings and none other than Bob Nightingale of USA Today. Maybe he'll have some scoop for us. That's on the way at noon.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We begin with breaking news from Washington. The House Oversight Committee has released never-before-seen emails from Jeffrey Epstein. Democrats say they raised questions about President Trump's relationship with the convicted sex offender and the president's knowledge of Epstein's crimes. In one message, Epstein wrote that Mr. Trump spent hours at his house with one of Epstein's victims. The president has vehemently denied any involvement in or knowledge of his late and former friend's sex trafficking operation. In another just released email, Epstein said flat out, Mr. Trump, quote, knew about the girls. No comment from the president so far this morning. All signs point to an end to the 43-day-old government shutdown today. The House reconvenes this afternoon to vote on Senate-approved legislation to reopen operations.
It was going on 2 a.m. Eastern Time before the House Rules Committee moved the funding bill forward with all Republicans in favor and all Democrats opposed. Republican Tom Cole of Oklahoma.
All the difficulty Americans have endured in these past 6 weeks could have and should have been avoided.
The Republican majority rejected all Democratic amendments and say they're confident the bill will pass the full House, but with only a 2-vote majority, it will be close. Michael Toscano, CBS News, Washington.
President Trump is lobbying a top Israeli official to pardon Prime Minister Netanyahu, who's on trial in 3 separate corruption cases. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe is at the White House.
Trump addressed his letter to the Israeli president, Isaac Herzog, who was elected head of state, while Netanyahu is the head of government. Herzog's office says anyone seeking a presidential pardon must submit a formal request for one. As we can tell, Netanyahu has not done that yet.
People who pick up extra work ahead of the holidays may be out of luck this year. Indeed, economist Corey Staley says seasonal job postings are down 15% from last year.
We're seeing a lot of the broader trends in the labor market being reflected in this year's holiday hiring.
Companies like UPS, Macy's, and Target haven't made any announcements so far. One survey found Americans plan to cut their holiday spending by an average of almost $200 this year. Northern lights lit up the sky in brilliant reds, yellows, and greens as far south as Alabama and New Mexico overnight. Another set, expected around noon Eastern, could cause big power problems. CBS's Michael Wallace.
The surge of charged particles from the sun, known as a coronal mass ejection, could reach G5 today. That's the highest rating on the geomagnetic storm scale. Sean Dahl is with the Space Weather Prediction Center in Boulder, Colorado.
These can impact the electric power grid of our country, the bulk electric system.
They could also interfere with radio signals and GPS systems.
This is CBS News.
The annual Progressive Keys to Progress program provides vehicles to deserving veterans, helping our heroes drive their lives forward. Learn more at keystoprogress.com.
At 8:03, we have sunny skies, 42 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Wednesday, November 12th. I'm Megan Lynch. Breaking overnight, a police pursuit that began in Pontoon Beach ended in an hours-long standoff in North St. Louis. The chase involved a man and a woman inside a car, which stopped near West Florissant and Alcott Avenues. Shots were reportedly fired from inside the vehicle around 3:40 this morning. Fox 2's Chris Renier was at the scene following developments.
The pair took off in this car, hitting a Pontoon Beach police vehicle in the process. That started the chase. Our Brian Howe captured video of that chase as it sped down 70 and got off at Adelaide here in North City, eventually winding up at our location. This standoff that ensued after the car stopped went on for almost 4 hours here. The St. Louis City Police SWAT team was called out. Eventually, there was a peaceful resolution with at least one suspect, we believe the male driver, taken into custody.
No one was injured from the crash or from gunfire. A small plane crashed near Wild Horse Creek and Wilson Road in Chesterfield last night.
The aircraft was making its final approach to the Spirit of St. Louis Airport around 6 o'clock. During the descent, the pilot successfully deployed the plane's emergency parachute. Monarch Fire Protection District Fire Marshal Jim McKay spoke with Fox 2 News.
This is one of the fortunate ones. So most of them are landing where the wheels deploy or something and you land and there's but to actually come out of the air, no injuries, that's amazing. And they should go to church Sunday. Yeah, they are counting their blessings.
2 men walked away without an injury. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
The new exhibit debuting just in time for Veterans Day at Soldiers Memorial takes a look at the nuclear arms race.
Managing Director Mark Sunlov says this is a unique photographic essay focusing on the offensive and defensive sides of the Cold War's nuclear arms race.
Offensive being kind of your nuclear missile sites, and then defensive more of the fallout shelters.
Sunlov says this exhibit is very timely with the nuclear clock at 89 seconds to midnight right now, the closest it has ever been. The exhibit is open now and runs until January 4th. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Thinking a veteran is not just reserved for Veterans Day. Ed Batchelor served in the Canadian Army as an engineer and tells KMOX we should always remember what our men and women in uniform have done for us.
Each and every day is a day for celebration for the liberties that we enjoy and democracy we live in.
Unveiled in Jefferson City yesterday, a new obelisk to remember veterans of the Iraq and Afghanistan war. Paul Kirchhoff with Missouri Veterans Commission tells Missouri Net the planning for the new monument began in 2022, but was approved this year for $157,000.
Not only did we not have an obelisk for Iraq and Afghanistan, but we hadn't actually put an end date to the Gulf War, which ended in 1991, about the time that the Veterans Memorial was put in place.
Illinois Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski didn't hold back on Veterans Day as to how she sees women being treated in the military.
Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth has spent his tenure attacking our women veterans.
Congresswoman Budzinski accused Secretary Hegseth of attempting to discredit women's service
and rolling back the programs that ensured women in uniform have properly fitting combat gear, adequate health care, and fair treatment.
And the House Democratic Women Caucus also say that since President Trump has taken office, the VA has lost 30,000 employees. Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
Todd Schnook, chairman and CEO of Schnook Markets Incorporated, says that Ted Schnook has been appointed Schnook's next chief operating officer in the expanded leadership role. He'll have oversight for the company's strategic initiatives and daily execution of business priorities, as well as executive leadership for store operations, merchandising, marketing, communications, and supply chain. From the business desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, the best city in America for singles is St. Louis, at least according to a new report by Zumper that cites St. Louis's cheap rent, nightlife offerings, steady job market, and its own Central Park. The report says half of St. Louis population is made up of single people. It does cite the area's high crime rate, but says it's a rare combination to be this affordable while offering such great opportunities. Coming up on Total Information AM, there's a call for old hockey sticks to create a special room honoring Colin Brown. He was the African Americans player that was killed about a year ago on Interstate 55. We're going to talk more about that with a member of African Americans coming up, plus a check of traffic and weather first in 2 minutes. It's 8:08.
Missouri, get ready. FanDuel, which is America's #1 sports book, is coming soon. And starting December 1st, new customers in Missouri can get up to $300 in bonus bets when you make your first $5 bet. So from touchdowns to home runs to three-pointers, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. And with live betting, you can even get in on the action after the game has already started, all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. FanDuel is the best way to game day, and it's coming soon to Missouri. Just visit FanDuel.com/promo code to learn more. This way, you'll be all set to bet when FanDuel goes live in Missouri on December 1st. That's FanDuel.com/promo code. Play your game with FanDuel, the #1 rated sportsbook app. Must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Offer starts 12/1/2025. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG.
This holiday, give the gift that lasts all season long. Cardinals ticket packs are on sale now, starting at 5, 6, and 10 games. All packs include 2026's top games and favorite giveaways. Backed by popular demand, choose from the opening day pack or the bobblehead pack. Check out the Cubs pack, weekend pack, or apparel pack. There's a pack for everyone. Find your perfect gift right now at cardinals.com/tickets.
And that's grounded up the middle. Diving play. Mason Wynn to his feet. He throws. He got him.
Busch Stadium isn't just a ballpark. It's where St. Louis comes alive. It's where every pitch matters and every cheer feels like home. Season tickets put you right at the heart of it all. And now there's a new way to be all in. Introducing 20-game season ticket plans. Get all the season ticket benefits with more flexibility than ever. Don't miss your chance to own your piece of 2026. Learn more at cardinals.com/tickets.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts. Total Information AM. Debbie Monterrey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's 8:10. Let's check up on backups on the roads with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we still got slow traffic out to the west of us, Megan, on southbound 61 north of Wensville Parkway into 64. It's busy around the boulevard and from 364 through Winghaven slow. It's heavy again from about Annie Guns all the way into Timberlake and then from Spady all the way through the Interbelt. The Interbelt slowed down at Delmar. Westbound 64 Hampton to Hanley's heavy. South 270 from 364 most of the way to Ladue. Still some busy pockets. Eastbound 70 kind of slow around Lake St. Louis Boulevard, around Bryan Road, K to TR Hughes, and 270 into the Rock Road. Southbound 79, highway wide in North Main Street, just a couple of slowdowns, so that's improving as well. If you're on northbound 55, it's just a little slow at 67, but still heavy stuff from south of the Union Road overpass up to Virginia, then Park out onto westbound 70 at Madison, westbound 64 from the 70 split to the Poplars heavy, eastbound 64 jam, 50 in the Green Mountain. It's still slow most of the way to 158, and we still have those signals on red flash on 67 at Double C, northbound 67. Pretty solid jam back at Buck Creek right now. Next update at 8:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
KMOX AccuWeather, plenty of sunshine and pleasant today and even warmer than yesterday, high 66. Clear to partly cloudy and chilly tonight, lows ranging from 33 in the coldest outlying areas to about 41 downtown at the Arch. We'll have sunshine through varying amounts of high cloudiness tomorrow, the high temperature 65. Friday, mostly sunny and warmer, high 76. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's a sunny morning, 44 degrees in Florissant. It's 40 in St. Peters, 42 downtown at the Arch. This is Total Information AM on KMOX. I'm Megan Lynch. In the last year, the St. Louis youth hockey community has been rallying around the family of Colin Brown. Colin was hit by a stray bullet last November when he and his father were driving home from a game. He died several days later, and his number 72 has been retired by his home club, the Afton Americans. Now they're creating a space for players and teams honoring Colin, and they need some special donations. They're asking for used hockey sticks. I'm joined now by Julie Jordan. She is a board member with the Afton Americans Hockey Club. Julie, thank you so much for taking time to join me this morning.
Thank you so much for taking time to help us with this special project.
Well, Julie, I think the whole hockey community in St. Louis, has been impacted by this, but I can't imagine what the start of the season was like, especially for some of Colin's teammates. How is everyone holding up there in Afton?
I think everybody has just held each other closer and have made sure that he is part of this season. Afton has his younger brother on one of our other teams. So really, the family is so important to us, and we want to make sure as a club that they know they are absolutely part of our heart there.
Now, Colin's family has donated money to the club that's being used to create a special place at one of your home rinks, the Afton Rink. Tell us about the project.
We have a space above the rink for anybody who's been in that location. You see the windows above the rink, and it's always kind of been, what is that up there? So we wanted to be able to update and remodel that space because it's been quite a few years since anything's been done up there. And so we started off with a smaller project to remodel it, and it's turned into this bigger piece where it's going to be available as a meeting room. People can rent it out. Teams can rent it to watch games. So it's going to be a space to bring people together. And that was actually a space that brought the teams together when we found out about the tragedy. We all kind of grouped up and met in that room the next day to support each other. So it seemed like the best place to really honor him and continue that support.
Well, this week we got a message from our own club president saying that Afton needed our sticks, any of our broken or used sticks, because you're putting up a wall of sticks. And as we all know, players break sticks all the time. So let us know what you're asking for from the community here.
Yes, we are looking for any donation of sticks. We're looking for mostly like that longer middle piece to be able to create a wall. At the Afton rink, there's actually a wall downstairs that has the hockey sticks incorporated into it. And so we're going to utilize that same design upstairs. And we're asking that if players or parents are donating those sticks, they're able to write a message on it to the family, to the community, to future hockey players, to really be able to incorporate everybody in the community into that space by donating the sticks that you don't need anymore.
Well, I know we've got a couple. My daughter just broke hers in a game a couple weeks ago, and one of my players brought a stick to me last night, and I was able to share some of Colin's story, which just demonstrates, I think, how important this is, what you're doing. How many sticks do you think you're going to need, Julie?
I think we estimated we're going to need about 2,000. So we have almost 1,000 in our possession now. I think we're a little closer, like 900. But based on the fact that it's a very long wall and we'd like to do the entire length of the wall, we're gonna keep collecting sticks as long as people are willing to donate them to us.
Where can people drop them off?
They can drop them off at Afton Hockey Rink. We have a container outside of the Zamboni room that's in our warming area. So follow to where the food is, and then there's a container there. And you can drop them off there. If you're a club or you're an organization that has collected a substantial amount and would like someone to come pick them up, I'd be happy to be the one to pick them up. If you want to share my email on the website or however you'd like to do that, I would be happy to coordinate picking them up from them.
We would be glad to do that. The one last thing that I have to ask you, Julie, is just to describe for people who might not be part of this, what the strength of the youth hockey community is in St. Louis when there's a loss or a tragedy or a need.
I think it's overwhelming to see groups and groups of people who have never met, who may have been rivals, who've played games against each other, to all come together and become a family based on the fact that we all live this crazy lifestyle. And when something happens, it's all of us that it happens to, and everybody has to band together and lift each other up and do whatever they can. One of the teams from Colorado, Littleton, had been in town when it happened, and they have come back in town since. And it is amazing to see a team that doesn't even reside in the area who has lifted our club, who has lifted this team, this family, and held such a special place for them that it transcends all the different pieces and is just a different kind of love.
What has this done for Colin's family that he is remembered every time someone walks in your rings?
I could not speak to how this affects them in any way because I can't even fathom, but I would hope that every time they walk into the rink, they feel the love and support and know that he will always be with us and always be a huge part of how we move forward as a club.
Julie, thank you so much. Really appreciate you joining us, and hopefully we can get you more sticks than you could ever use.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. That is Julie Jordan. She's a board member with the Afton Americans Hockey Club. Again, they are hoping for donations of used sticks. They want the new sticks to go for kids who can still use them to play. But if you've got some sticks that are broken and they've still got a good length, they're going to put them on that wall to honor Colin Brown and his family. And so it'll be there for generations of hockey players in Afton. Coming up this morning on Total Information AM, Debbie Monterrey is up next with Kristen Sorth with the St. Louis County Library for the St. Louis Storytelling Festival. She's going to have more on that. Jerome Katz is going to visit with us at 8:31. We're going to look at the impact of Peabody's move out of downtown St. Louis. Is it as bad as a lot of people are saying? And then at 8:41, I'm going to talk with Brad Young, partner at Harris Young & Kaiser, our KMOX legal analyst, about the Constitution and what it has to do with pet goats. And finally, at the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk about gender pay disparity. It's actually getting worse for women. I'll be joined by Bankrate data analyst Alex Gailey. It's now 8:19. Let's get a check of the roads with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
No, we're still busy on the highways, Megan. This traffic reports the service of the Pauley Agency. Northbound 270 backs up from Tesson Ferry up through Gravois. Minor crash reported there. It's stop and go through 44 and then remains heavy all the way up to Ladue. South 270 a lot better. Just Olive to Ladue. That's nice to see. Eastbound Highway 70, Lake St. Louis, in through TR Hughes. There's still a couple of slowdowns. 270 into the Rock Road around the airport. And Lucas Hunt Jennings Station area, we had a minor crash that they quickly cleared there. Eastbound 64, still kind of busy. Prospect to Lake St. Louis Boulevard, a little slowdown at Winghaven. Any guns to about Timberlake, Spady, and through the Interbelt. The Interbelt slows at Delmar. Westbound 64, Hampton to Hanley's heavy. Northbound 55, you've got backed up traffic from the Union Road overpass most of the way up to River de Pere. And then from 55 through the Arch Grounds downtown's heavy. Westbound 64, slow at the 70 split. Eastbound 64, jammed. 50 through Greenmount Road. And northbound 67 still backed up Buck Creek up to Double C because the signals are on red flash. Hey, St. Louis, how would you like to see if you, your family, or employees qualify for a health insurance plan that has open enrollment year-round? Call the Pauley Agency. We put the sure in insurance. Call to set an appointment at 636-222-2149. Next update at 8:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Plenty of sunshine today. It's going to be warmer than yesterday with a high of 66 degrees. Clear to partly cloudy and chilly tonight with an overnight low around 35. And then tomorrow, sunny with some high clouds, a high around 65 degrees. Right now we have sunshine, 42 degrees downtown at the Arch.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV
for any length of time. You've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you can find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
It's Tom Ackerman for Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, the ones with the red ribbon, the ones who've been around since 1926. They invented the overhead garage door, so obviously they're the best. And when it comes to November, veterans and active military, can I have your attention? Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is doubling its usual veterans discount on all products and services in November. That means veterans and active military get 10% off all month at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. 10% off all doors, openers, and any service or repair. Details on their website. This applies to veterans and active military. Schedule your annual garage door tune-up before winter really sets in. Call 314-781-5200. 314-781-5200 or overheaddoorstlouis.com. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
You're back with Total Information AM. I'm Megan Lynch, and St. Louis County Library is hosting its 46th annual Storytelling Festival this week. Debbie Monterrey spoke with Library Director Kristen Sork.
Kristen, for those who are not familiar, what is the St. Louis Storytelling Festival that's now underway?
Well, this is actually the 46th annual St. Louis Storytelling Festival. It will take place all over our libraries from November 10th through the 16th. And this is the fourth year that the St. Louis County Library is the home of the Storytelling Festival. It existed, obviously, for many years before us through University of Missouri Extension, and they had approached us a couple years ago about taking over the festival, and we said yes, of course. So last year we had over 11,000 people attend the festivities. So we have all kinds of programs and storytelling events for all different ages.
I was going to ask how many attend because I notice on your website you include hotel accommodations, so people do come in from all over for the Storytelling Festival.
Yeah, so we have a committee of people that work on the Storytelling Festival, and they start like a year in advance. And they spend a lot of time looking for some really well-known national storytellers. And so we are bringing in some national storytellers. We have local storytellers as well, but they do workshops for people. They visit schools, they visit some senior living facilities, and then we have some other partnership with, like last night I went to see the Story Stitchers at our Florissant Valley branch. They did a spoken word event, and it was just fantastic. So we try and really have something for everyone. We actually have a puppet show this year at a couple of our branches. It's actually tonight at the Clark Family Branch at 6:30, and that is for all ages, but obviously geared towards kids. It's Cirque de Wiener Dog, so it's a cast of dachshunds as they attempt to put on a circus, but it's a puppet show. It's really cute.
Oh my gosh, that does sound adorable. Cirque de Wiener Dog.
Yes.
What is the difference between a storyteller and an author or writer? I imagine there must be a difference in the focus here.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they're very similar, of course, but it's a story that really takes listeners on a journey. So it's really sometimes it's a personal story that they're sharing and that they're kind of weaving things throughout. And then sometimes it's an ancient story that's been passed on from generation to generation. It's really just interesting, like the Story Stitchers event last night. They did spoken word, but they also did some dance segments, and you're watching them tell a story through dance. So it's sometimes I say, like, until you go, you can't understand how powerful it is. But it's really sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're sad. They really make you think about the world and your place in the world. So I don't think I knew exactly what to expect when we took on the festival, and I'm so glad we did, because it's some of my favorite times of the year to go to these events.
Again, that's St. Louis County Library Director Kristen Sorth with Debbie Monterrey. A complete program schedule for Storytelling Festival can be found at slcl.org. It's now 8:28. This time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Is the holiday season a good time to sell a home, or should you wait? Or should you keep an eye on what the market is doing? I'll tell you what, when you need to sell a home, you need to sell a home. What you need is the right agent. That agent is Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria Liu, her name says it all. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, because she will put in writing that she'll sell your home at the price and the time frame you both agree upon, or she will buy it herself. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date. She'll also guarantee to sell your home for 100% of market value, or she'll pay you the difference. Can other agents make those same guarantees? With Gloria, you know your home is sold. And say you have some special circumstances, or maybe you're looking for a different way to sell your home. Talk about it with Gloria. She's got multiple ways to sell a home. 314-325-6888. 314-325-6888. Gloria Liu, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty at gloriahasthebuyers.com.
Hey, just check the mail. We've been invited to a seminar and dinner is free.
It's going to be chicken, and it'll taste like Play-Doh.
Don't be fooled. All seminars are not the same. For example, Steve All, an investment advisor representative and founder of the All Financial Group, is hosting a taxes and retirement seminar at his office in Chesterfield on December 10th. Come meet Steve's newest advisor, Tracy Richardson, as she discusses the big beautiful bill, taxes on your Social Security, and more. Tracy will not only cover the hurdles you can face in retirement, but ways to keep more money in your pocket and less in Uncle Sam's. This is a complimentary event, but seating is limited, so reserve your seat today. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
You know, hon, I've always been interested in us buying a timeshare.
I'd rather eat Play-Doh.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
8:30, time for another check of the roads with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we still have slow going out there, Megan, on North 270, for example. This traffic report service of the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company delays north of 55. It's just slow, but it goes all the way up through Ladue. South 270 is cleared out, but eastbound 364, we have a crash just before 270, so traffic's backed up through Bennington because of that. Eastbound Highway 70 still pretty busy. From K, most of the way into 79, 270 into the airport, there's a couple of slowdowns. South 170 bogs down, Olive down to 64. Southbound 61 is cleared out, but 64 through Prospect and a little bit at Lake St. Louis Boulevard, still some volume. East of Boone's Crossing to about Timberlake, and then Lindbergh through the Interbelt. Westbound 64, Hampton to Hanley, that's still slow. Northbound 55, you've still got delays right at the Union Road overpass, runs all the way up to Virginia. Northbound 67 still jammed near Buck Creek up to Double C because the signals are on red flash. Westbound 64 heavy 3rd Street to the Poplar. Eastbound 64 stop and go most of the way from 50 into 158. Times are always changing, but Penn Mutual stands the test of time. The 178-year Young Mutual Company is leading the way in life insurance. Ask your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL. Next update at 8:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, plenty of sunshine today, warmer than yesterday, a high of 66 degrees. It's going to be chilly tonight with an overnight low around 35. Right now, sunshine, 42 degrees in downtown St. Louis. As you heard here on KMOX, after 7 decades in downtown St. Louis, Peabody Energy is moving its headquarters to De Pere. Let's look at the impact with KMOX business analyst Jerome Katz, professor in the Chaffetz School of Business at St. Louis University. Jerry, this move has been met with a lot of disappointment. What's the potential impact on the city?
Well, for the city, it's not going to be that much. I mean, we're talking about a couple hundred people are going to move from downtown to eventually the area of Manchester and 270. So they'll still be in Metro St. Louis, even in St. Louis County. So metro-wise, it won't have much of an impact. Symbolically, it is a knock for downtown. Peabody was one of several places that were shot up Labor Day of 2021. And at that time, they were thinking very seriously about moving. But in 2022, after some very concerted efforts by the mayor of St. Louis and downtown St. Louis, they announced that they would do a long-term contract, stay downtown. But I think the die was cast there. And as downtown has ebbed and flowed, Peabody has felt that it still is not where they hoped it would be.
A lot of people are asking now, what can replace this? What are your thoughts based on what you're watching happen in the city right now?
The Brookings Institution actually did a major study of downtown St. Louis this year, and they looked at both business rentals and residential rentals. And actually, their report is a lot more hopeful. They see a lot of opportunities in terms of small and medium-sized businesses moving into downtown. And that is very much a part of what makes it vibrant and more inviting to people. That should be continuing. The Brookings folks noted that St. Louis has a lot of programs from the state and city government to support these kind of efforts, and they have a generally good track record at trying to attract money and attract businesses. Only 25 buildings in downtown of more than 200 are really empty. And that's actually a pretty small number. So the possibility of converting those to apartments or other uses is very much a part of what can keep downtown vital and growing.
So maybe this is just part of a shift?
It is. KSDK, KMOV moved out of downtown, so did Fleischman Hilliard. They moved to Clayton. There is some of this happening. What is cool to see is that small and medium-sized businesses are moving downtown. And as downtown develops more of these things that give it a flavor and a 24-hour presence, the opportunity for future moves of big companies downtown increases.
That is Jerome Katz, KMOX business analyst and professor in the SLU Chaffetz School of Business. Thank you so much.
Have a great week.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Time for your money report now, sponsored by Eamon Gantner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys. Here's Bloomberg's John Tucker.
The resolution of the last 4 U.S. government shutdowns has typically lifted the S&P 500 and most of its sectors. That's based on median performance. A weak private payrolls report prompted traders to price in a higher chance of a Federal Reserve interest rate cut next month. Data released by ADP Research showed the labor market slowed in the second half of October. The Swiss don't just make nice watches, they also make sneakers, and they're really catching on Holding, boosting its sales and earnings forecast for the year after a better than expected third quarter. Consumers snapping up the sneaker maker's high-priced footwear, and it doesn't hurt that the company is backed by tennis great Roger Federer. Were your Gmail messages tracked by Google using AI? That's what a proposed class action lawsuit is alleging, saying Google used its Gemini AI assistant to unlawfully track private communications. I'm John Tucker, Bloomberg Radio.
It's Tom Ackerman for McKelvey Homes. Founded in 1898, move up to McKelvey. You'll find Missouri's oldest home builder and the best, McKelvey Homes. Take a look at Strawberry Farms, a vibrant new neighborhood inspired by the historic strawberry fields that once flourished on this land. Timeless charm meets modern living in a thoughtfully planned community featuring 76 beautifully designed home sites from McKelvey Homes, each built with the quality and care that McKelvey is known for. Explore the Liberty Series, offering a variety of thoughtfully crafted floor plans, including ranch, 1.5-story, and spacious 2-story designs. Located in St. Charles County, Strawberry Farms offers unbeatable access to top-rated Fort Zumwalt schools and is just minutes from the best shopping, dining, and entertainment in the St. Peters area. McKelveyHomes.com. Move up to McKelvey.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-693-3109. 800-693-3109. Again, that's 800-693-3109.
Join the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra and immerse yourself in the captivating sounds of Russian folk music. Witness a rare event of flame and fantasy as music director Stefan Denev and your SLSO bring Stravinsky's The Firebird to life. Pianist Jean-Yves Thibaudet joins to perform Khachaturian's shimmering piano concerto. November 21st and 22nd at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
For residential and commercial heating repairs, service, maintenance, or installation, contact Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation. With over 50 years of HVAC service, get in your comfort zone this winter. Visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
This is 104.1 FM KMOX. Here's what's happening. Airlines have canceled more than 9,000 flights across the U.S. since the Federal Aviation Administration ordered flight cuts last week out of safety concerns. The White House says it's considering a 50-year mortgage to address the home affordability crisis. And small business optimism dropped in October, according to the latest NFIB index, which says it's down 0.6 points, while the uncertainty index fell 12 points, the lowest reading of the year. Let's check the roads with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Megan, we have a incident that is cleared to the right shoulder, eastbound 70, before you get to Highway A, so traffic's jammed back at 64. Once you get around that, it's just a little slow, K into T.R. Hughes and 270 into the Rock Road. Eastbound 64, a little slow at Prospect. There's still busy traffic east of Boone's Crossing to about Timberlake, Lindbergh through the Interbelt. Westbound 64, Hampton headed out to Hanley slow. Eastbound 64 also has a little backup right around Van Venner. 364 still delays west of Bennington to 270 due to a recent crash. North 270 still bogged down. North of 55 to Tesson Ferry, and then from 44 all the way up to Ladue. Northbound 67, Buck Creek up to Double C. Those signals look like they're still on red flash. 55 slow, Bayless up to River to Pear. Westbound 64, west of 3rd Street to Poplar slow. It's still a pretty good jam. Eastbound 64 approaching 50 most of the way into 158. I'm Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Sponsored by the Moolah Shrine Center Festival of Trees.
Hello, everyone. I want to invite you to the Moolah Festival of Trees. Come see over 40 of the best decorated trees you'll ever see. Adult tickets are only $2 and kids under 12 are free. November 22nd through the 29th at the Moolah Shrine Center.
Thanks for listening to Total Information AM on this Wednesday. I'm Megan Lynch. What does the Constitution say about goats? We'll talk about that this morning with KMOX legal analyst Brad Young. He's partner at Harris, Young, and Kaiser. Good morning, Brad.
Good morning, Megan.
So we got to wait to get into the fun of goats. But first, we got to hit some serious stuff like National Guard troops in Illinois. The Supreme Court apparently is still considering this. And justices have asked for a little more information. They want more from both sides. What's the core question that the high court is considering there?
Well, just to kind of set the table here, Megan, as we've all heard, there are federal troops, National Guard troops that have been federalized, are in Chicago. And the courts in Chicago have issued stays stating that they're not there properly and they can't be doing what the Trump administration wants them to do. And so this has been appealed to the Supreme Court. And yesterday, reply briefs were filed both by the city of Chicago and by the Trump administration. But here's the bottom line. It's a narrow statutory issue here, and this is what it all comes down to. Under federal statutes, under Title 10, it allows for regular forces, meaning the standing U.S. military, to be used in times of rebellion or insurrection. But does regular forces mean, like, for example, ICE? And that's what the Trump administration is arguing, so that they can use federalized ICE agents who are armed and doing police functions. They can use that because of the not the insurrection. That's obviously what they're arguing, but because of the unrest that's going on currently in Chicago. And the court's going to determine what does it mean when statutes say regular forces? Does that mean ICE? Does that mean the National Guard? Does that mean the U.S. military? What does that mean? And what exactly can the federal government do in situations like what they're facing in Chicago?
Brad, how significant could this ruling be, not only just in this instance in Illinois and some other cities, but for future administrations and states' rights, for example?
Well, as we've seen most this year, Megan, there's been this constant push between the Trump administration and some blue state governors regarding what can be done with enforcement of immigration laws. And so I think what this Supreme Court case will decide is exactly what are the parameters of federal power in these situations. For example, Title 10 of the United States Code allows the president to issue or to nationalize federalize National Guard troops in situations where the laws are not being upheld or where there is a rebellion. But their scope and course of what they can do is very, very limited under the statute. This has never been addressed by courts. And so we expect that the Supreme Court will issue guidelines as to whether these nationalized troops are limited to guarding federal property, whether they can exercise police functions, or whether they must have the permission of the state governor in order to federalize National Guard troops.
Let's shift to travelers in the government shutdown. As I mentioned in the headlines a little bit ago, thousands of flights have been canceled since last weekend. That's on the orders of the FAA due to some safety concerns. Obviously, it's been a huge inconvenience for travelers. Would they have any recourse because of canceled or ruined plans?
Boy, that's a good question. And to answer that, really, there's two parts to the question. Number one, does the FAA have the lawful authority to impose these nationwide flight reductions without notice, without comment, without rulemaking? Does it have that authority? And number two, is there any legal recourse? And the answer to both of these is very clear under federal law. The FAA has broad authority to administer the national airspace system. And so I don't think that there could be any challenge to the FAA's authority to do this. And secondly, with regard to federal law and lawsuits, folks just cannot sue the airlines, nor can they sue the FAA in this situation because federal law prevents it. But federal law also provides for mandatory refunds, a timeline for these refunds. And so if folks have canceled travel plans, they're instantly entitled to have those flights, the cost of those flights, refunded because that's mandated by federal law.
Let's turn to our final story. And I brought this one up, Brad, because I feel like we have stories like this all the time of people who want pets that are a little out of the norm, not dogs and cats. In this case, it's a pet goat. And when does that become a constitutional issue? I think it's pretty fascinating. There's a public interest law firm that has taken up the case of a Wyoming woman who is claiming that her constitutional rights were violated because the town wouldn't let her keep her pet pygmy goat. Where does the Constitution fall in this?
Well, it actually it does in a number of ways because the Wyoming statute that governs this situation, she's arguing that the law is ambiguous because it doesn't. It has some loose definitions of what constitutes a pet. And one of the bedrock constitutional principles about statutes are that statutes have to be clear and unambiguous. Because if they are ambiguous, then it gives the federal authorities too much power, or the state authorities here to too much power to interpret how to apply it. So they're arguing, number one, that the statute is ambiguous. Also, under the U.S. Constitution, 14th Amendment Due Process Clause and the Equal Protection Clause, they're saying here that they're being denied equal protection because the lady can't keep a pet that she wants, even though other people could keep the pets that they want. So it's interesting to see a goat used in constitutional law, but that's exactly what we have in this situation.
I'm wondering then if this could affect all those cases we hear about, for example, with potbelly pigs and chickens and things like that.
Yes, it could affect all of those. And of course, we had our own chicken legal controversy right here in Missouri about a month ago. So yeah, it could. It could also have wide-ranging impacts on what constitutes a service animal, on airlines. I mean, this could, if it went up to the Supreme Court, it could have wide-ranging effects. I don't see it doing that, but it is certainly fun to play that as a mind game.
All right, Brad, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
That is Brad Young. He is a partner with Harris Young and Kaiser and our KMOX legal analyst, and he joins us every Wednesday morning here on Total Information AM. Coming up, the gender pay disparity is getting worse for women. We'll have more on that from Bankrate.
Purina presents A Century of Service.
This is KMOX Radio.
KMOX is celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining St. Louis. On November 20th, KMOX Day, we will celebrate the KMOX pioneers.
This is Jim White for your information.
Legendary voices.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Groundbreaking programming.
KMOX Radio. We're at your service.
And unforgettable moments that have defined a century of broadcasting.
We did locate Ben this afternoon, and we've also located Sean Harnbeck.
Hear from current and former KMOX personalities who have helped make this station the preeminent news, information, and sports brand in America. A century of service, celebrating 100 years of KMOX, is presented by Purina, your pet, our passion, on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your winter with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. Cozy up to the goodness of the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Attention business owners with a net income over $500,000. You need to work with a tax strategist that understands your entrepreneurial mindset. Download the most recent white paper written by E3 Consultants Group titled The Power of a Professional Tax Strategy Team. Go to e3wealth.com/radio to obtain a copy. It's time to learn about wealth and tax strategies that protect your personal and business economy. E3 is ready to help you think differently about your finances. Educate, empower, enlighten. That's the E3 difference.
Cold weather is coming, and heatupstlouis.org needs your help now. Your dollars can help keep the heat on for Missouri and Illinois veterans and families struggling with high utility bills. Donate today at heatupstlouis.org or drop a check to Heat Up St. Louis at any area Commerce Bank.
KMOX proudly supports the Musial Awards, returning to Stiefel Theater Saturday, November 22nd. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event, hosted right here in St. Louis. Named for Stan the Man, the show celebrates the year's greatest moments of sportsmanship and those who embody class and character. Experience the extraordinary moments and people that make the Musial Awards an event like no other. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
You're back with Total Information AM. I'm Megan Lynch. The gender pay gap appears to be once again widening. That's according to an analysis by Bankrate. With me now, Bankrate data analyst Alex Gailey. Alex, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you for having me here for this conversation.
What are you seeing when it does come to the wage difference between men and women right now?
Well, we looked at more than 60 years of Census Bureau data to see when working women might finally earn what men do. And in our analysis, we basically found out that the answer is likely not anytime soon. So if trends from the past few decades hold, pay equity won't arrive for at least another generation or two. And I really think this is a reality check on how slow progress has been and how far we still have to go. And if you zoom in, even in the last 2 years, we've seen the pay gap has widened. And that is likely due to some data normalizations, but we also have to consider potential AI impacts or even just return to office and how that's potentially impacting women in the workforce.
What is that pay gap right now?
So the pay gap, as of the latest data available, which is 2024, went back down to 81 cents on the dollar. It was up to 84 cents on the dollar in 2022. So you can see that it did drop a couple of cents, and that might not seem like a big deal, but a couple of cents can translate to hundreds of thousands of dollars that women in the workforce are losing out on because of that pay gap.
You mentioned some likely reasons. Are there other reasons for this wage gap?
So if we zoom out, there are a lot of reasons for the pay gap, and it's very layered. I would say one of the biggest reasons that we see it is because there is occupational and industrial segregation. So women tend to be overrepresented in lower paying fields and jobs, whereas the opposite is true for men. And that is a large part when you zoom out and look at the whole workforce, you see that women on average are earning less than men, but that doesn't tell the entire story. The motherhood penalty, which is essentially a phenomenon where women are penalized after having children in the workforce in terms of pay, that's certainly playing a role. There's also, there is still bias and discrimination and barriers to promotion that women are facing. And so a lot of what we see in the data is just that the systems in place aren't really made for women to support them advancing in the workforce. And a lot of times women are just having to try to figure out how they can best manage all these things on their own.
Is it worse for minorities?
It is worse for women of color. We do see much wider pay gaps for those specific groups of women. And so it is important to call out that, and that our projection is showing that the pay gap likely will not close evenly across groups. We see with Black women, they are earning 67 cents on the dollar when compared to their white male counterparts. And that is even wider for Hispanic women at 58 cents on the dollar. So not only do they face barriers when it comes to gender, but they also have barriers when it comes to their race and ethnicity that just make this a lot more complicated in terms of trying to figure out how to close it faster.
Are there steps that women can take to try to improve their financial security, even with the findings that you've brought to us?
Yes, there certainly are. I would encourage women to really take charge of their career and their finances. And that can look that can look different depending on who you're talking to, of course. But when I spoke to financial planners who've spent years advising women, their top tip for women to build their careers, build wealth, really boils down to four things. A lot of women have a fear of investing, and that fear is very expensive. So you need to start investing today. And secondly, women tend to respond more positively to community and social support. So a lot of that fear of investing comes from lack of financial knowledge. So focus on building up your financial literacy, and you might feel more motivated to do that through community. I would also say a lot of women fall into the permission trap, permission to ask for higher pay, permission to go after those bigger jobs, permission to take financial action. So I want women to not fall into that permission trap and ask for what they're worth in the workplace. And then lastly, but I would say really important, is to keep normalizing talking about money so that you're not only helping the women around you, or even it's really important that men are part of this conversation as well, but you're also helping future generations of women.
Alex, thanks so much.
Thank you.
That is bank rate data analyst Alex Gailey joining us on KMOX.
The House prepares to vote on a bill that could end the longest government shutdown in history. In the meantime, have you had canceled or delayed flights? And a local college student is on Food Network's Holiday Baking Championship. We'll chat with him. It all starts at 9 a.m. on the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
It's Tom Ackerman, Genesis of St. Charles, the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. Your premier Genesis dealer, Genesis of St. Charles. Now is the time to visit. It's the signature event at Genesis of St. Charles. They want your trade, and they're willing to pay more for it on any new Genesis purchase. No games, no gimmicks, just upfront pricing. Unlock the e-price today by going to genesisofstcharles.com, and you'll find that every purchase, every one, comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet. And let me tell you, luxurious service at their state-of-the-art facility, 5601 Veterans Memorial Parkway. That's off Mid-Rivers Mall Drive and I-70. It's Genesis of St. Charles. You can get started online at genesisofstcharles.com, but I do highly recommend that you come into the dealership. It's fantastic. genesisofstcharles.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's